Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? It's Thursday, June the 24th. Oh my gosh! Welcome to Stock Markets with Bruce. Your Uncle Bruce here. Nice to see you all here this morning. Welcome to the channel and the show where we try to cover the stock markets in plain English. It's as simple as that. Nice to see you all. Nice to have you here today. Here in Creston, we have got a lightning show going on around here. We have thunder showers. It's entertaining. Let's just say that. Bill the Butcher, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the channel as a new member. Nice to have you here. It's entertaining. Oh yeah, we got action around here, and wondering, what did I say? We're kind of watching all of that. Markets right now, they're just reacting to some of the early numbers coming up here, some of the GDP estimates and durable goods orders and all that sort of stuff. At the moment, I'm seeing that the Dow futures are showing a gain of 173 points. So we're adding to the market. Had a bit of a down day yesterday. The last hour yesterday wasn't so great. Actually, it was the last half hour yesterday. That was a bit of a sell-off. That's been reversed, and we're now showing 173 gain. On the S&P, we're up 21, and on NASDAQ, we're up 90. And for NASDAQ, that is a new high. NASDAQ closed last night up at a new all-time high, and so it's higher yet again. And it's the FANG stocks, the high-tech stocks. The so-called fear of inflation is not hitting the FANG stocks, and fear of higher rates has gone away because the U.S. Federal Reserve has made it absolutely abundantly clear that they are going to continue to support banks and support the banking sector and keep a lot of cash available and keep interest rates low. So you can forget about a crash coming anytime soon. You can forget about a cash crunch. You can forget about markets underperforming. You can forget about businesses not being able to grow and borrow money. You can forget about all that. There's so much cash coming into this economy of the USA, North America, and in Europe, the European side and the Asian side. The central banks around the world are looking at years of additional stimulus to get their economies up and running at full speed because they're not yet back, and that's to be expected because of the virus. We're not open everywhere at full capacity. It could take another 6 months to a year for the entire world economy to really get back to where it was in 1819. But that also assumes that there are no other variants of the virus to worry about. That assumes there will be no echo of infections rising up this fall. But every country's health analysts and agencies are saying, hold it a second. Every fall we have flu and colds and all that, always and always have. This virus will be no different. But the problem with the virus we have at the moment is not the original variant that the vaccinations have been able to knock off. It's the variants, these new variants, and in particular, the one from India is the most concerning. And the problem with the Indian variant is one of them. India isn't fully vaccinated yet. India is I don't even know if it's at half. And so it is spreading there terribly. And it is spreading through the third world terribly. And the virus will go wherever it can most easily go. The virus is a very non-discriminatory thing. It just goes wherever it can find a host, it goes there. And what the viruses have been, the viruses obviously run into is a bit of an issue with regard to Europe and North America, because in the G20 countries, these countries have made a major effort to set up the inoculation programs. And so the variance counts are down dramatically, but not done for. And in the third world, where there's 1 to 5% inoculations only, vaccinations have been very low. The virus is having a field day, and there is no world press to cover it. You may notice that if you're watching, your favorite news outfit following print or digital or cable, you might notice there are no live reports coming to you from Ethiopia, Kenya, Zambia, Mozambique, South Africa, Ghana, Chad. You're not getting any news from Africa. You're not getting news from certain Asian countries. You're not getting news from South America. I mean, we in the north here in Canada and America and over in Europe, we follow our own news, and we're more interested in how our basketball teams are doing right now and our hockey teams are doing right now. We don't want to know. We don't want to hear about this virus anymore. We're sick and tired of it. The problem is the virus is lurking and can screw things up. And I'm talking about the economics and stock markets in plain English. And you folks have figured out, if you're watching me since January, how events in one country can lead to events in other countries, which can lead to economic problems right back at home where we all hang out. And unfortunately, this will be and always will be the case. And this virus has a way of screwing things up. And so I hate to sound like a Debbie Downer, but this is the fact that this virus is not defeated, is not gone. And you still have, obviously, in every country in the world, the anti-vaxxers who won't do it. We have death counts rising in various areas of the world. And we have countries like the UK and others in the UK and in Europe who are going, we're not ready to open yet because we are on the front lines of this variant from India to Europe. And we've got problems with this thing, and it's coming to America, kids. Coming to a theater near you sooner or later. And unfortunately, in North America, there are certain jurisdictions where they're just not on board with the annihilation of this virus. They're on board with the annihilation of their political opponents, but they're not on board with the annihilation of this virus because for some people, they think this is political, and that is the tragedy of it all, that many people cannot fight a common enemy anymore. And that's the issue. That's the bottom line. And so we're watching. The Dow is up 170. Yes, it is. S&P is up 22 and NASDAQ up 91. It doesn't mean that everything is great. It just means the markets are up this morning and the indications are better. And at this point, it looks just okay economically from that vantage point. So you put your blinders on and just look at the Dow and the S&P and the NASDAQ, and you go, the world is fine, because this is all I care about with the world that I'm in. I'm okay in this world. It's all right. I see perfectly fine. I can see what I want. Unfortunately, there are other issues. Anyway, there seems to be good news coming out of the cruise lines. There seems to be. More and more of the cruise lines are announcing more and more cruises going forward, and the relaunch of ships to get them going again. And then I think Carnival announced they've ordered a couple more ships to be delivered to them. I can tell you that any cruise line that's ordering a new cruise ship nowadays, they have secured unbelievably favorable terms for deliveries along the lines of like this. Put down like 1% of the money of the ship's cost as a deposit. And the country where the ship is being built will set up an export banking arrangement for you. So this is Germany, France, Italy, the European Union, where the other 99% will be completely financed by the country where the cruise the shipyard is located, and all kinds of loans and all kinds of guarantees will be given there, so that thousands, tens of thousands of people who are needed to assemble a $1.5 billion luxury cruise ship that can handle 6,000-7,000 people and 2,000 crew. That kind of a vessel can take 2 to 3 years to build from very beginning to the very end. Can employ 10 to 15,000 people over the lifetime of its build. And countries will finance the entire build out of that country because of that ship, the entire build out of the ship, because a country like Germany, for example, as I have mentioned on this show a few times, they can borrow money for 10 years at negative interest rates. Think about that. Germany borrows, Germany accepts deposits into his bank, issues 10-year treasury notes that pay negative 0.2%, one fifth of a percentage point negative. So you lend Germany $10,000, and at the end of the year, you get 1/5 a percentage point less than that. So you lose money, and you're doing this for 10 years. So you're guaranteed to not get back 2% of your money. You're going to get $9,800 back. Give me 10 grand now, and I'll give you $9,800 in 10 years. Deal. And there are lenders willing to lend Germany that kind of money. Germany is taking that kind of cash to the tune of billions, if not hundreds of billions. And in the case of ships, it's a no-brainer. They're investing and gathering up $1.5 billion. I'm talking measly $1.5 billion at negative 0.2% interest for 10 years. And they are lending that money in a piecemeal basis to the builder of this cruise ship, the shipyard based in Germany. And all these workers are employed. They have no worries. So the next 2 years, welders are welding, electricians are electricianing, plumbers are plumbing, carpenters are carpenting, and shipbuilders are shipbuilding. Everybody's working. And all of these side industries that deliver parts to the shipyard, the air conditioning guys and the bedding people and the pots and the pans and the dishes and everything going into a cruise ship. Think about this. It's a floating hotel. Everything going into that ship from suppliers all over the world, mainly Europe, though, they all know that they will be paid when they deliver the goods to the shipyard, because the shipyard has secured guaranteed financing from the country of Germany for the full build out of the ship. The cruise line is going, this is great. We're putting up $10 million, $15 million for a $1.5 million cruise ship. No problem at all. They won't take possession of it until it's done, which is at least 2.5 years away. The ship gets built out. The ship is finished in 2.5 years. It goes through sea trials. The cruise line will accept the ship knowing that they can put passengers on that ship within 30 days. Otherwise, they don't take possession of it. It stays in sea trials. It stays in testing. And the country of Germany just carries the vessel financially until the cruise line can accept it. And that's the deal. This is the handshake deal that's being made. It's not a handshake deal. This is a contract. Royal Caribbean is getting this with their ships. Norwegian is getting this with their ships. Carnival, with all the brands, are getting this with their ships, and our other companies, including container ship companies. They're getting sweetheart deals from these countries to have these ships built at virtually nothing down, nothing a month until you take possession of it, and it is a working asset. And the country of Germany is saying, not a problem, not a problem at all. We're quite happy to invest in our industries under these terms and conditions, because again, we in Germany can borrow money for negative interest rates, which means the taxpayer of Germany pays nothing in actual cash. The German taxpayer pays nothing in cash to do this deal, because all the cash is coming to it from pension funds and everywhere else that are looking to park money, because there's so much money out there. It's looking for a place to go. It'll even go to a place where it can get a negative return. That's how much money there is lying around right now. Germany is just saying, yeah, sure, we'll do $1.5 billion ship here. We'll do $1 billion ship there. We'll do rail cars over here. We'll do subway lines over here. We're building, baby. We are not shutting down our industry in Germany itself. We're full speed ahead in everything we do, and our unemployment rate is staying very, very low. Everyone is gainfully employed. People get their paychecks on time. They spend their money. They pay their taxes, and they fund the German government forward. And right now, and for the last 8 years, 10 years, Germany is running a surplus, an economic surplus on the federal level. And Germans are going, as soon as this virus is over, we can't wait to go on holidays again, because we love to travel. And they get paid in euros, and euros are at a premium to the US dollar, and they love coming over to the United States, because the United States is cheap. It's a cheap place to go visit. And there are a whole bunch of Germans that love coming to Canada during the summertime, and they will rent an RV for 6 solid weeks. And it'll be an RV that'll be a turnkey RV, totally decked out with all the food they want, because at home, online, they've indicated all the menu items they want, all the food that they like. And there's a menu given to them saying, well, what brand of food do you like? And here's what we can get you. These RV companies in Canada and the US are so sophisticated that they are fitting up that refrigerator and the cupboards and everything else in this RV with the food that they want to eat off a menu that they have selected brand names and style of food in the language that they speak. incredibly convenient. These folks are dropping 2,000, 1,500 a week for 6 weeks, eight, 9, 10,000 bucks or more for an RV because they're paying in euros and they got paid at work. They're never getting laid off. Their countries are funding their industries and business continues on. And it's a partnership and it's an arrangement. It is socialism at the highest level and it really works over there. It really works. In North America, this is a dirty word. And so we just watch and kind of go, oh, well, another company just went out of business. Oh, well, another company just died because they couldn't get financing from point A to point B to point C and complete a project that they had negotiated over years and years and years. So that's just the way it goes. Some people are winners and some people are losers. Well, there might be losers in Germany and Europe. There are losing companies that don't have a good business plan, but there are others, through no fault of their own, are caught up in a worldwide pandemic and a parts shortage and everything else. But their governments are stepping in to ensure that these businesses will be there through these tough times. Because in Germany and in France and in Italy and in Denmark and in Netherlands and elsewhere, they realize a shipbuilding yard, you can't have it go under because it's of one bad quarter of world economic upheaval. No. This is a generational location. This is a place that for hundreds of years has built ships and will continue to do so. And we as a country will support these industries because they support families and jobs like you can't believe, including the spin-off industries. Every way to Sunday, from electric to plumbing to carpentry to consulting to engineering to software development to computers to, oh my gosh, it's endless. That's the difference. We, on the other hand, are a little different. We're a little more, if it makes sense on the bottom line, great. If not, too bad. That's the end of that. It's too bad I have to keep bringing this up occasionally. I don't want to, but I do. And I'm sure most of you don't even think about this, and I don't blame you. It's not a national story, but the story of that California high-speed rail, the high-speed rail line. That is a classic example of the failure of a private enterprise versus government to get something completed that is of that size, a massive project, a project that makes so much sense to those who hear about it for the first time. They go, oh yeah, that's a smart idea. LA to San Francisco high-speed rail. You got a state of 35 million people. You build it, they will come. I think about how many tourists will take this thing as part of their, expedition. They won't rent cars and going up and down the coast. They'll do it on the train. They won't fly. They'll do it on the train. The commuting and the entire reasoning for it being an electric powered line. Wow, what a great idea! It works in Europe. It works in China. It works in wherever they do these massive projects. They work, but you can't do it as a private enterpriser because you don't have right of way on the land. You need government to get you the right of way. You need government to also help you with infrastructure to make it work. You have to have government to buy into it for 100 years, and you have to deliver the goods when you say you were going to do the deal and you finish the damn deal. And the problem, of course, in democracies, you have something known as elections. And you have what you have in elections is you have old scores that are going to be settled on the next election. And so you've got people who were opposed to this project 20 years ago who will never give it up and will wait until the next election or the next one or the next one or the next one. As soon as they get elected in a certain town, county, or area where they can muck it up, boom, that's where we're going to muck it up, because we never bought in and we never accepted defeat. That even though the people of California voted a majority on a plebiscite to go ahead with it, we still won't let it go. And here we have today, if you take a satellite image, if that were ever available, a satellite image of the rail line between Los Angeles and San Francisco, there isn't one. There are splotches of space where there's a little bit of a rail line here and there and here and there. There isn't a single train running on any track anywhere. And many hundreds of miles of this track run through flat land where putting up a rail line with an electric line is a nothing. It's an engineering nothing. There's nothing there. And what there is are bills and billions lost. You have the state of California right now, today, with $75 billion state surplus because of the federal government's funding through the stimulus programs. A number of states have surpluses. A number of states have been able to balance their books because a number of states were devastated with the COVID. Well, we were all devastated by it. California's seeing a $75 billion cash, extra cash. It's handing it out. California is handing out the $75 billion in different ways. That's the proposal. None of it is earmarked for this railroad line to build it. The amount of jobs that can be created to get this thing done, on all hands on deck job, thousands. Economic spin-off, unbelievable. Get that line up and running, incredible. The amount of money generated by that train line will be unimaginable because it's always been underestimated as to how powerful this line could really be, and what a statement to make to the world that the United States too can build a high-efficiency, long-distance rail line. It is dead in the water. The feds are wishy-washy on it back and forth. The state is wishy-washy on it back and forth. Cities, counties, no one leads. No one leads anything. And what's happening in California right now? There's a recall going on to get rid of the governor because it's his fault that there's a virus, and it's his fault the way he handled it. This guy should have handled it a lot better than he did. Forget the fact that no politician has ever been in the middle of a worldwide pandemic before. That's irrespective of the fact, because we in our 8-second attention span want results, and we want them now. Love them or hate them. You look at the candidates who want to replace this guy, we're talking the loony bin here. And it continues on. It's a $250 million bill to handle a special election. And Californians have signed up for it. And you know what? You get what you deserve, and you deserve what you get. And this has happened before when Arnold Schwarzenegger became governor, the last recall election. Now we've got another one with Gavin Newsom here. And we on the outside, I shake my head as a Canadian, but I'm just a Canadian. What do I matter? In Europe, they're sitting there just going, the most powerful country in the world, the richest country on the planet. They've got everything. They've got everything. Water, space, they have land, resources, smart people, wonderful people. They're loyal. They're when you make friends with an American, you have a friend for life. They believe in freedom. They believe in this. They believe in that. But they can't get their own in-house act together. It's unbelievable how they tear each other apart. That's the price of freedom, that you're allowed to freely tear yourselves apart at the same time you build yourselves together. Canada has the same problem here. We've got Canadians against Canadians all the time. It's almost impossible to get certain infrastructure done in this country because there's always some group that comes up with, we got to protect the moles. We got to protect the butterfly. We got to protect flies. And don't forget the ants. There's always this, and it has become so litigious. We're so good at it that we are experts at just grinding each other to nothing. And it's sad. It's a sad story, but you know what? It is what it is. Welcome to the world in which we live. And despite it all, somehow, a lot of things just keep getting done. And then every once in a while, we have these incredible success stories that come out of it. And we just keep moving forward. But I'll tell you, over the history of the world, there have been incredible positives done and incredible opportunities lost. And so welcome to it all. In any event, here we are. We're looking to hopefully have a good day today. The Dow is holding a 157-point gain, S&P up 19, NASDAQ up 84. The crude oil is down 61 cents to 72.47. Some of the shares that we like to follow, our friends at 23andMe are at 12.15, holding a little bit of a gain right now. We've got AMC down 18 cents to 58.12. We have ATIP at 960 up 25 cents again, but not much volume in the pre-market. Gore's Holdings 15.44 up 24 cents this morning, a little stronger. Good to see that. We know that Gore's is going to have their shareholder vote on July 20, so we know that's a firm date to look forward to. SOFI 21.50 up a dime. It's been as high as 21.85 this morning, and It's been positive most of the morning so far. GameStop sitting at 221.47 right now, up 213 a share on just only 63,000 shares so far. But more and more stories are coming out about GameStop that are not negative. How about that? They're not negative. I think because now that GameStop is sitting on $1.9 trillion and that they've raised their last batch of money at 225 a share, I think they're getting some, what I would say, grudging respect from certain bloggers out there who have a tough time to poo-poo this company anymore. It was easy to poo-poo this company 2 years ago when they were worth $200 million total, that their stock was trading at $4 a share. Multiplied by 70 million shares, it's $280 million market cap, but they owe 200 and something million in debt. They had no value. That 2 years ago at $4 a share, they were worthless. And that's why there were 70 million shares shorted against a company with 70 million outstanding, because they were worth $20 million and a pandemic came along to finish them off, and it didn't. Today, the company doesn't have any debt. It paid the debt off. It has $1.9 billion in cash with no debt against it. And they're turning around their business and completely re-evolving it and bringing on talent from a whole bunch of other companies that the street's going, these are good hires. This company's being totally looked at now in a different light entirely. And so now the question is, can they pull off the turnaround, continue to do so? But the bloggers are going, hey, look, if you can raise money at $225 a share, you can raise a $1.1 billion like that every time you want it. These guys can go indefinitely. I mean, they'll never go out of business. You just keep raising money, you'll never go out of business. AMC is a classic case. You raise money like AMC does, you're never going out of business. So we'll see what happens. Vector acquisition up 7 cents to 10.38 right now. Not a lot of volume going on. We're waiting for Rocket Lab and Vector to announce their shareholder meeting date and all that. We're waiting for that to come through. And so there you have it. There's some of our favorites that we're watching this morning as we are awaiting this market. We have a good vibe for the market, up, like I say, up 139 on the Dow, up 17 on S&P, and NASDAQ up 81. So we definitely have the right direction going for the market, the right vibe. We do not seem to have an interest rate or inflation worry going on today. So we're looking a lot better. Anyway, there you have it. Let's see what's happening. Now, the other news coming up, I've heard about this new margin SEC rule coming up with regards to failure to deliver securities and all that. People are quoting it to me from time to time. They ask me, Bruce, what do you think about this new SEC rule, the 002? And I admit, I am not a guy that stays up at night and reads deep SEC filing information. This is the kind of stuff puts me to sleep. So whenever I can't sleep well, I start reading that, and I'm sleeping like a baby in 15 minutes. But there seems to be a vibe, an overall anticipation, I guess. There's an anticipatory air going on that this is going to be a big one, that this could affect the markets dramatically. By the way, ATI physical therapy up a quarter at 960, but we don't have any serious volume on the pre-market. It looks good on the quote, but boy, I sure wish there was some volume on it. Anyway, we're going to watch this closely. I think today is the first day that this is in effect. And some of the folks on Reddit and Wall Street Bets and the meme followers, they are really leaning on this as their salvation for stocks to go to the moon, because ultimately it'll become so incredibly expensive and so difficult to maintain failure to deliver positions that these stocks will have to be bought up in the open market, which will run the stocks to unbelievable stratospheric heights. My thinking on it is that could be the case, and stocks want to go to stratospheric heights. And I have viewers that own these stocks. I'm a happy host of a YouTube channel Who am I to complain of a stock going to to take a run if I have viewers that are going to enjoy a huge run on the market? VL, thank you, VL, for this. Your pre-market fireside chats are always the best. Keep up going strong. Thank you. Thank you. Not all agree with you on that, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. So my thinking on it is, well, let's just say that AMC goes to 80 to $100 a share, and that GameStop goes to 350 to 450 a share. Just pick numbers off the top of my head. AMC can raise another $2 billion in the next 3 months, and GameStop can raise another $3 or $4 billion in the next 3 or 4 months. That to me is a win. That's you might think, oh no, you're you're diluting your companies, and I'm going, no, raise the money, baby, raise the cash. Cash is king here. If AMC can raise a couple more billion, they would have $3.5 billion in cash on a company that owes $5.5 billion in debt. That would put them in a whole new level of stability. They could now start paying off that expensive debt that they have right away. Bringing their cost of being alive down. And as they build up their movie sales, things will kind of come the other way. Good for them. Giving them years of time would give AMC 5 years of time to get it together. And you don't think they're going to stand still for 5 years, do you? AMC is going to keep running it, and way to go. I mean, if you can use the stock market to save your company, do it. I agree. Now with GameStop, oh my gosh, GameStop raising another $2 or $3 billion in cash and sitting on $5 billion in cash. That really takes GameStop to another level. And I'm thinking, hey man, you get this stuck to $4.50 a share. And you identify company blah that you want to buy because of their sales and revenues and cash flows and assets, and it's a $5 billion private whatever. This company could either go to them and say, we'll do it all in stock. How about you just take GameStop shares? This private company would look at it and go, wow, look at what the stock has done, and look how much cash they have on hand. If they work a deal that's like $1 billion in cash and $4 billion in stock, and that gives this private company, some, founders some cash and all this stuff. Fine. And that $5 billion asset goes inside a public asset like GameStop and now is valued at $25 billion on a market cap basis. Your shares are going to $700-800 a share. So shareholders of GameStop will go, yeah, okay. The street will go, yeah, okay. And you still have $4 billion cash on hand, and you're trading at $700 a share now. Yeah, you can do acquisitions all over the place. And could it be that GameStop in the next 2 years does dozens of $50 million to $300 million acquisitions all over the place as they pick up pieces? And yeah, that could happen. Will it? I don't know, but it could. Really transforming this company, taking it to a level that no one would have ever dreamed possible. Maybe even Mr. Cohen might not even have thought, wow, we've raised more cash than I thought we could raise in a shorter period of time than I thought we'd raise it. Because after all, I bought this stock in December and January, or November, December, January. I bought up all this stock. And here I am in June, sitting on almost $2 billion in cash. That's not a bad move for a $73 million pickup, don't you think? Ryan Cohen spent $73 million of his own money to buy 13% of GameStop. And he's now controlling $1.9 billion in cash with no debt. Think about that. You're part of that. You guys are a part of this transformation of this company by this individual and his associates. A $73 million stock pickup of 13% of the company. And he bought in when the company had 200 plus million in debt, was being written off by every analyst, was written off by every banker, was paying 10% interest on the money they owed. They were in the middle of a pandemic, no idea how the stores would ever open up. This guy puts 73 million in to buy 13% of the company, gets on the board of directors, and within 6 months, from January to now, the entire board is his. He's the chairman of the board. The senior executive of this company, entire executive are his picks. And they've done 2 successful fundings, paid off their debt in full, and are sitting on $1.9 billion in cash. If that isn't a turnaround, I don't know what's a turnaround. I don't know what else to call it. This is a phenomenal piece of work that has been done in 180 days. Again, 180 days in the middle of a worldwide pandemic. GameStop has been completely turned the opposite direction and is the strongest in its strongest financial position it has ever been in. Or sometimes you got to stop and kind of look back and go, holy crap, look what we've done in the last little while. Like, what? And yet we're sitting here going, yeah, but it's only 221. Come on, let's go. This is our way. This is what we want. This is the way we think now. But the reality is this GameStop company has been at light speed changing the world, and they've changed their world dramatically. I like the future of this thing. I like if you can do that in the first 6 months when you get control of this company and it's in the hole and it's dying and it's just being written off as a loser. It's being compared to Blockbuster and Radio Shack and all the other losers out there. And you can turn this thing around in 6 months to the level you've done already. Do not put anything past this guy or past the management of this company. You are on the wrong side of what's coming up. This stock could well become one of the most expensive stocks of all time as these guys keep evolving the company forward. It's exciting stuff. So this is why when I mentioned if you're going to write call options on this stock, you're going to write either very short call options just ahead of the price of the stock, or you're going to write very long call options, but at $500 or $600 a share, way up there. There's no middle ground here. You're not going to write a $250 call option good for 5 months. You're not going to do that. You might get a nice premium, but you shouldn't really be doing that. This is going to be a most interesting year, to say the least, for GameStop as this company really evolves itself out. And I totally believe that it's only just begun. Cheers to all of you. We're 22 minutes away from opening today. A little bit of Diet Coke here. Nice to have you here. I'm not even having caffeine free today. I'm having regular Diet Coke today. I slept in today. I tell you right now, I'm a little more full of energy this morning because I slept in. Supposed to get up at 3. The alarm went off. I shut it off, went back to sleep, woke up at 4:15 and went, oops. I got an extra hour and 15 minutes. I better get up now and get going. And here we are, trying to stay on top of what's going on out here. Welcome all to the show, the channel, and I hope you're having a good morning this morning. And let's try to make some money today. How about that? We are, like I said, in 21 minutes to go. We've got the Dow up 151 points, holding the pre-market quite nicely. We have S&P up 19.3, NASDAQ up 82, and crude oil down 45 cents at this moment. First time unemployment claims dip in the latest week. A headline came out. Rival to Tesla, something called Xpeng plans global offering of 85 million new shares. If that's a Chinese company, I wouldn't trust it with a 10-foot cattle prod. Anyone buying that stuff? You guys are blind to what's going on in the world. Do not buy stock in any Chinese company. You are asking for heartbreak and disappointment. I wouldn't trust those guys. Not a chance. In any event, that's just me in my old man ways. Welcome welcome all to this show. And let's see what's going on. What else is happening? Folks are popping in saying hi to each other, which is great. It's nice to have you here. Thank you for those of you who are joining this channel and following me. Thank you for those who are throwing a thumbs up already. We have 384 thumbs up so far this morning. I appreciate that. Hope you're enjoying the message, and I appreciate you being here. Those of you who are who don't agree with what I say, it's okay. I'm not the spokesperson for the world. I'm just a guy in a living room in Creston, British Columbia, trying to interpret the world in my own way and to try to explain to you what I think is going on in the markets in plain English. There's a lot happening, and hopefully it'll be good for you and all of us. Hopefully the markets will continue to run, and it'll leave me better days. time will tell. The Canadian border and the American border, unfortunately, are still closed. Cannot cross by car. You can fly across as a Canadian to America, but you cannot come into Canada as an American or as a European. The country is closed to foreigners unless you have literally an emergency reason to be here, family member or something really, I don't know, coming in for a medical procedure. I mean, it's very difficult to just come on in here. The government of Canada still has it difficult. They make it difficult for Canadians to return from overseas. They're just not interested in Canadians being traveling outside of this country right now. So we are stuck here, still waiting for, we hope, the rest of the world to get inoculated as far as possible, as many of you as possible. And the hope we have here in Canada is that in the not too distant future, things will open back up again, and we can travel freely between our two countries. That would be kind of nice. Jennifer and I, we had our second shots 8 days ago, so we have 6 days to go for us to be fully vaccinated. Actually, no, we only have 5 days to go now. It's actually 9 days. 5 more days, and we are fully considered vaccinated, and we're happy about that. We know that many other Canadians and many Americans are in the same boat we are and have been getting their shots, and we're now getting through this phase of the whole thing. I'm just praying that it's really happening down in the U.S. We are disheartened here to hear that even though the vaccine is readily available all over the United States for literally any American to walk into a pharmacy and get a shot, they're not doing it. They're not doing it in the numbers as had been hoped. That is heartbreaking up here. We are just heartbroken to hear this. Up here, we pray for the message on our telephone from our health services. You can come in next week, Thursday at 3:00. We celebrate the fact that we can go in and get our shots. We're hearing that there are now mobile inoculation vehicles being sent out in various communities around the U.S. to encourage people to come and get the shot. It just kills us. We cannot believe it, with all of the loss of life and the disruption and the number of people who are suffering after effects of this. And yet it's not quite, but it's almost becoming like you can't even give it away. That is really the incredible heartbreak of it all. And this is where those of us on the outside shake our heads and go, we just cannot believe it. We can't believe it. It just blows our minds. We worry that if the inoculation rate isn't high enough in the U.S., the border will stay closed for Canada, for Mexico, and Europe, and Americans will not be allowed out, and foreigners will not be allowed in, and America will be shut down. It'll be cut off, and we just kind of go, really? Like, is this actually possible? But this is the talk among the G20s, other than the U.S., that they can't get their act together down there. We have to cut them off, and we can't trust them. And I can't put my head around that. I just can't. I can't believe that is truly it. But you'll see some of these comments just on my own channel that, right in this house, there are people who disagree with, what could save your life. I think I read this morning something, I don't know where it was. It was a headline about how many deaths there are in the U.S. right now compared to how many there were, far fewer. But that the percentage of people who are dying in the U.S. from the virus who are not vaccinated, it's sky high. It's like in the 90% range. So, a high percentage of people who are dying in the U.S. are those who are not inoculated. Those who were inoculated is a very, 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 very low number, and that's because the vaccines are highly effective, but not 100% effective, as been advertised and has been disclosed right from the beginning. And yet around the world, there are countries who are bringing in the Chinese vaccines, which are 40 to 50% effective, they say. and they're getting those because they can't get anything else, and so they're desperate to get whatever they can get and hoping that they're one of the two that will be covered versus not protected. And here we are in the Western world. There are people in the UK, all over Europe, Canada, US, elsewhere, who have access to the vaccines but won't get the shot, don't believe in it, or won't believe in the efficacy of it, or whatever the reasoning, won't get it done, not going to do it, not going to get the vaccine. I just kind of go, you got to be kidding me, man. You got to be kidding me. In Vegas, there are people who will gamble with their rent. If they get a 50-50 shot at winning money, they take a shot with their all the money they have in the world. They take a shot at 1 in 10 that they could make it happen. They'll put it on the table and take a shot. With the vaccines, 90% coverage, and you can't, no matter what you say, will not get them to do it. And this is your life. This is your life. This isn't your paycheck. This isn't your pride. This is your existence, your being, and all of your relatives and all of your family members, and possibly your future children and spin-off and no, not going to do it. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, there you have it. Thank you for being here. And like I say, it is what it is. And I'm just glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. It is what it is. I have to talk about it, even though I want to talk about stocks. I just want to talk about stocks. But if I talk about stocks, I'm doing this. If I talk about just the markets and don't talk to you about what's happening elsewhere, then I'm doing this. And I am misleading you. And I'm not showing you, and I'm not helping you try to navigate what you need to be aware of. Because if you are a market player, and this is the thing you really need to understand, if you're an investor, you have to know what the big picture is everywhere. You have to pay attention to what everyone is doing all the time, everywhere, because your investments, whether you think they are or are not vulnerable to outside events, are vulnerable to outside events. And you have to know what the outside events are. You have to be that aware. I remember interviewing candidates I would like to become stockbrokers. This is back in the 80s when I was branch manager and a VP. I was looking for new candidates to train up as stockbrokers. And I would get these young kids in. I would get these 20-year-olds. I get these 30-year-olds. I had 40-year-olds coming in who were looking for a new career. And you can come on in for a coffee. Let's have a chat. And sure, you're looking at their resume. You're looking at what they've done in the past and where they've worked and their experience levels and all that stuff. Sure. But then you talk to them as people. And you begin to figure out very quickly whether they are in tune with the world or whether they're in tune with someplace else. And I had people come into my offices who were, they were all about the club that they were with or the beliefs that they had, whatever beliefs they were. And I would sit there and think to myself, oh my God, I can't have this. I cannot have this person be a broker for my company, because their views are so narrowed and so skewed on one focused message that they just don't get the relationship between what happens in Germany and France and Brazil and Russia and China could affect us here in Canada. They don't watch the news. They don't follow. They don't even know who political leaders are. They have no idea. They don't. They like I say, they are shut off. They're cut off to the outside realities of life, and they are totally focused on what it is they are all about, and their followers and whatever the thing is. And you just couldn't bring them in. I had to have generalists. I had to have people who would go, okay, the religious right, the religious left, the financial right, the financial left, the socialists, the capitalists, the communists, they're all there. Okay, well, let's watch everybody. Let's see what's going on here. How is all this going to affect me and my investors? Does this make my stock go up or make my stock go down? Or am I in the right stock or the wrong stock at this moment in time? Do we need to make changes to our portfolios? I had to have people who could do those kinds of analyses and could make those kinds of decisions and could handle any kind of a client that they might have been introduced to, or that might come their way. And they also had to determine whether or not they wanted to do business with certain clients or not, because sometimes you would run into a client who had a lot of cash, but they had a lot of opinions, and they weren't open to suggestions of certain kinds because of their core whatever. And okay, you've done well successfully financially, great, way to go. But I might not be able to take you any further. What I'm going to suggest to you, because of what's happening in the market, you might not agree with or don't believe in. And if you lose money in a portfolio that I've helped you create because you're not willing to make changes because it's just not working for you, but then you blame me on the fact that you're losing money because you didn't make these changes, I don't think I can be part of this story. It's a two-way arrangement here. There's an advisor, and there's a client, and then there's the world. And we got to be, as far as I'm concerned, you got to pay attention to what's happening in the world to really figure out. Because if you're an investor, you better be aware of what's happening outside of your little existence, or you are with blinders. You are limiting yourselves, and you could get struck from the outside, not even know where it's coming from, because of Saudi Arabia cuts off oil exports to Belgium for whatever reason, and that affects all of Europe all of a sudden, and that makes gas go up $2 a gallon in Texas, which is unthinkable. And people get laid off at the solar plant and get laid off at the car plant. And why is this happening? Well, it trace it all the way back. It all started because 6 months ago there was a problem between Belgium and Saudi Arabia, and this all blew out of. I'm just throwing something at you that's totally out of left field. You have to be open to this reality that the world is interconnected. So I don't know, guys. I'm just an old man ranting and raving from his living room in Creston, and we are 7 minutes away from the opening to see if we make any money today. Bertie, thank you for being here. Stop. No more political vaccination talk. We are the Bagel family, and by the way, I'm fully vaccinated. Stocks. Love you, Tio. Well, folks, what can I say? We have to be just have to be aware of what's going on. That's really what it is, and it's nothing personal. This isn't political. This is practical. Yeah. People ask me, and some of you are maybe wondering, why are housing prices going up so much? We know that people want to go to the suburbs and they want to go to the cities and all that, but why other reasons? Well, wood prices are going up. Well, why are wood prices going up? I mean, what's the deal on wood? Did the trees stop growing all of a sudden? Well, no. The first thing that in the first month of Biden taking over the office of the presidency, he continued the same policy of Trump to double the tariffs on wood from Canada into the USA, softwood. Now, what is softwood? Softwood means that I believe what it means is you take a log and you cut it and you turn it into 2x4s and 2x6s and turn it into plywood and that type. I believe that's what's called softwood, the kind of wood you can buy at Home Depot, for example. You bring that wood into the United States, the tariff on that wood is dramatic. There's a huge import duty that the United States charges its own importers and takes the money and puts it into its own treasury. And it makes Canadian wood much more expensive than the wood produced in the United States, which means this is a protectionist measure. It's a socialist measure. Trump did it, and now going back, Bush did it, Clinton did it. Every president has done this. It's not new. It's been going on for 30, 40 years. These measures have been put into place to keep Canadian prices very, very high so that the Georgia wood and all the wood in the U.S. is competitive. This allows American producers to be inefficient. They don't have to be as efficient as Canadians or other manufacturers because they have this artificial high price that they're up against. It's a beautiful system if you're an American company. But unfortunately for the American individual, the people who want to buy a sheet of plywood, or those of you who want to put a deck on your house, or you want to build a garage onto your house, you need wood, and you are paying an artificially high price for a commodity that should be this price on the world market, but you're paying an American-made price, and have been for decades. And no politician gets voted out of office because of it, because there's no one politician you can blame. That's the problem. There are states in Washington and Oregon, California love these tariffs. They got wood. Utah, Colorado, Georgia, lots of wood grown in Georgia. The Carolinas, lots of trees everywhere. And all tree manufacturers, all tree harvesters, the softwood creators in America love the tariffs because it keeps the domestic price nice and high, allowing them big fat profit margins. And it keeps Canadian prices very, very high, and yet it doesn't stop imports. They keep coming because there's such a demand for the wood. Americans can't get enough wood because, in effect, the crazy thing about it, America can't grow enough wood for its own needs, and yet its own domestic businesses, of which many shouldn't be in business because they are inefficient and they don't deserve to be existing. They're only alive because of artificial prices, but they have political clout, and this continues, and it will continue and will continue because it's politically the thing to do. It actually gets you votes as opposed to costing you votes. Welcome to the world. You have to be aware of that as an investment person and as a former broker. We had to be aware of that. We had to know, we can't invest. I can't recommend my clients invest in Canadian wood companies because the American administration might double the tariff anytime. Again, they might put in new restrictions. These guys keep losing their cases in the World Court. The World Trade Organization, Canada keeps bringing America to the WTO. And the United States keeps bringing Canada to the WTO. We always have disputes. This is nothing new. Canada wins every time on softwood. Every time it wins. But it takes 3 to 5 years per case. And the president in the first 3 months of office puts the tariffs in place. And by the time that the case gets to court, it's deep into the second year of the administration. And if the president is a one-termer, there's no consequence politically for that president, because by the time they're kicked out of office, the case comes to court 2 years later. It's the next president's problem. And so it gets kicked down the road all the time, kick the can down the road. The Canadians know it. We're not blind to it. It is what it is. Brazilian wood is difficult to import in the United States. Mexican wood is difficult to import. It's just one of those things that's a cost of doing business. Nothing personal. It's just business. And this is why Americans are paying a fortune for homes and home renovation projects. Americans are getting hosed by themselves. But again, we're good at that up here too. We are so good at that up here. What are you going to do? Anyway, there it is. I just what can I say? What else is going on? We're getting ready to open, aren't we? Yeah, let's talk about the stock market. Let's talk about stocks. No more ranting and raving from Uncle Bruce. Let's just talk about how the shares are doing as we get ready to open up here with about a minute to go. We got David Faber talking to Kramer. Some of the talk on the network over here is they're talking about how banks in the U.S. will be allowed at the end of this month to hopefully be allowed to do stock buybacks again for their shares and increase dividends to their investors, because the loan loss provisions are nice and high in case of economic problems. The COVID thing kind of delayed all the restrictions being removed from banks. This is from 2008, folks. This is back from 2008. I'm talking 13 years ago, the housing crisis. The last of the fallout is still happening with these bank stocks to be allowed to react and behave like other stocks can behave. And this is why I mentioned some of the stocks like JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs. These companies' shares have been really held back. For instance, JP Morgan is only trading at 12 times earnings multiple, and Goldman Sachs stock is trading at 9 times earnings, because these guys are perceived by the street to be operating with one hand tied behind the back. The Fed, the Federal Reserve, will not allow the banks to just freely go out and do what they want economically for their own best interest. They've been under restrictions because of the crisis from 2008. Of course, who is to blame for the big problem back in 2008 when mortgage debt just about ruined the world economy? It was Wall Street, but did anyone go to jail? No. Did they make a movie about it? Yeah, The Big Short. And and here we are. Brent, you are my favorite uncle. Good luck today, everybody. Thank you, Brent, very much. Anyway, maybe the stocks will take a run. We'll get a shot. Here we go. I think we're open. I think we're trading. Let's hope so. 103,000 shares traded on SoFi. We're at 21.52, up 12 cents to start the morning. GameStop 221.47. We are up a couple of bucks at the moment, and I'm happy to see that. GameStop volume so far, 144,000 shares. ATIP 936, up 1 penny. AMC 57.85, down 45 cents. Gores Holdings up 21 cents to 15.41. 23andMe up 23 cents to 12.27. Fifth Wall up a dime at 12.05. We got Vector Acquisition up a penny. We have Navsite unchanged. Starboard down a penny. So we have a good start to the day, mostly green across the board. Guyoti, thank you. Always enjoy your morning rants. Thanks, Uncle B. Thank you, Guyoti. We've got the Dow up 171 points right now, definitely getting a positive start. Talk out of the White House is that Biden will be meeting with senators from both parties who are coming up with a compromise on an infrastructure deal. And that's going to be had sometime today for a meeting. The hope is that a deal can be constructed between enough Republican senators and Democratic senators to cut a deal to break the 60-vote deadlock you need to get it done. We'll see. Apparently, the Congress and that would be Nancy Pelosi and the Congress and Schumer are on board. What they've seen so far they like. Both sides are still hammering out a deal, but there might be enough of a deal and enough a compromise between the two sides to get roads repaved, bridges rebuilt, airports redone, ports. Yeah, everyone knows, and every state needs it, whether it's a red state or a blue state, they all need potholes filled, highways repaired, open up commerce and make more money. Everyone seems to be on board with that. The question is just how much and how fast and how long the structure of this whole deal will be done. We'll find out later today. The Dow up 204 points in anticipation of the possibility of that being in place and coming through. The market really wants an infrastructure deal. Get this through yourselves here. Get this in here. The stock market really wants and would really like to have an infrastructure deal. It really wants it. It's good for stocks, good for publicly traded companies, really good. Across the board, good. S&P up 23, NASDAQ up 87. This is not a Democratic deal, not a Republican deal. The infrastructure deal is good for America, good for the stock market, good for the economy, good for job creation, and can be funded right now, even if the country has to borrow some money to do it, can be loaned out, can be done at 1.5% interest rates with a 3% inflation rate over a 30-year loan program. This is a Made in America program that is just perfect for the economy to just fire up for years. And the amount of taxes coming out of this will be huge. But of course, America collects taxes forever. The infrastructure program is temporary. Once a bridge is up and highway is up, the taxes generated by goods and services going back and forth, and tourists and pickup trucks and transport trucks will forever keep coming into the coffers of the United States government. Absolutely win-win, big winner, chicken dinner. But we'll see what happens. GameStop 222 up 297. SoFi up 15 cents to 21.55. ATIP is up 1 penny. AMC 58.25 down a nickel. Gores up 20 cents to 15.40. 23andMe 12.30 up 26 cents. Fifth Wall up a dime. Vector up 3 cents. Navsite unchanged. Starboard down a penny. Vanik Vectors, the ETF for semiconductors up 333 this morning. Home Depot up 262. International Business Machines up 92 cents. Vanik, Home Depot, International Business Machines, they all benefit with an infrastructure program. You say, how can IBM benefit from an infrastructure program? Because the amount of computing power you need to generate to build out these projects to the tune of billions and billions and hundreds of billions of dollars is unthinkable. And the Googles of the world, the Microsofts of the world, the Apples of the world, the IBM, the FANGs of the world will benefit greatly. The spin-off effects of hiring hundreds of thousands of Americans over decades to do all this work, they all spend money on stuff, whether it's on a holiday, whether it's just fixing up their home, just buying groceries, whatever it is, sending kids to school. All of these companies benefit from an enhanced economy. It's just a win-win-win. Nothing personal. It's just business. The government really wants to give networking and renewable energy funding and tax breaks. It wants to get it going. It wants America to be on the same footing as China, as Japan, as Europe, because infrastructure investment from the American side has been lacking for 20 years at least. It is way behind, and there's some serious catching up to do. Microsoft up $1.65, Apple up 65 cents, Tesla up 15.53 to 6.72 now. Very good. Bed Bath & Beyond having a very good morning this morning. It's up $2.70 to 32.02. Bed Bath & Beyond has got a nice little pop going right now. I don't know why, but it is, and it is a meme stock that is doing very well this morning. Up $2.53 a share. Bed Bath & Beyond volume right now, 1.9 million so far this morning. Other stocks we're following, the cruise lines are up a little bit today. Royal Caribbean, 87.88, up $1.72. Norwegian up 48 cents, Carnival up 19. Amazon up $16 a share, coming off a very good, apparently, Prime day. And we've got Facebook up 283. We got Google up $18.47. So we've got that going right now. Over back on our favorites over here, we have a 224 price now on GameStop. Just touching it. Good to see. Up about $4, $5. The high of the day, 224.46 on GameStop. SoFi 21.46, up 7 cents at the moment. AMC just turned positive, 58.66, up 35 cents. There you go. Let's see what else is happening. More and more talk keeps coming out. More and more talk keeps coming out about how the economy is changing in the U.S. and how people are not going back to work at offices. This keeps resurfacing again and again and again. It is not a little regional phenomena. It's not a New York thing. This is not just a Manhattan thing. No, this is national. And this is Canada too, believe me. This is Canada, this is USA, and this is other G20 countries. A lot of people have taken inventory of themselves, whether they wanted to or not, or planned to or not. They were given a break in their lives that we never thought we would get. We all get this occasional week off or a long weekend and stuff, but we don't have time to unwind and totally disengage ourselves from our lives. This pandemic has changed everything for all of you, and so many of you have totally reflected on your reason for being here. You've had to, and we went through all the emotions. We went through worry and anger and frustration and hope and everything else. As this whole thing dragged on. But for a lot of you out there, a lot of people out there, a complete reassessment has been done to once you've unwound from your that work environment that you got away from. After a couple of months of not being there anymore, it all bleeds out of you, and you go through all the emotions, the good, the bad, the ugly, you name it, and then you eventually begin to reflect, and you talk on your phone to your favorite relative or a best friend, or you text or whatever, or you watch a guy like me just blab on, and you realize I'm not the only one who's thinking this way. There are others. As a matter of fact, everyone is asking themselves, what's in it for me? What am I about? What's my future going to be? And there are millions upon millions upon millions of workers who have kind of thought to themselves, hey, my job's waiting for me. I've been paid the whole time. I've been working from home, and I've been paid the whole time, and my job is waiting for me at the office whenever I want. September, I have to be back, or I can start coming in, or whatever. But others of you have realized, I hated my job when I had it. I hated working for these people, even through this pandemic, because there's been no compassion from these people, or they just didn't give a damn, or they made life a living hell for me working for them. And now they're demanding I come back and kiss the feet of the manager when I get there. And a lot of you have realized this isn't going to happen anymore. I'm just not going to play this game, and there's got to be a better way, and I think I found it. And you've begun to look into the possibility of a better way. And a lot of you have realized the better way for me is we are moving. We are getting out of this state, city, town, area. We're moving 10 miles, 100 miles, 500 miles, 800 miles, 1,000 miles. We are physically up and out of here. A number of you have realized I am moving jobs, but I'm not moving from my house to do it. I'm now working for an employer. I'm negotiating to work for an employer who's 500 miles from here, online. Don't need to be in the office. I'll go in maybe once a year, say hi, how are you? The rest of it is video conferencing, and it's texting, and it's just emails, and I'm going to be well compensated for my work, and everyone's happy. A lot of you have also decided to go on your own, and you've become consultants, and you've set up your own LLCs, and you're now entities. You're not even people anymore. You're not like individuals working. You're corporate entities. Some of you have teamed up with former coworkers, or you've teamed up with people you've worked with over the last 20 years, and you've been in touch, and you've said, you're really good at this, and you're really good at that, and I'm pretty good at this. And the three of us together could form an alliance, and we could take on, quote, projects for all the companies we used to work for as employees. We could now, as a corporation, represent ourselves and offer to cut a deal to do this or do that or do this or that on a project by project basis. And the companies are eager because they don't want to hire thousands of people back anymore. A lot of companies would actually like to run their operations with fewer employees. And if they can do it through a contracting basis or through an arrangement like this, it's working. And a lot of you have gone into this and are beginning to figure this out, and it's happening. It's evolving, and it's going to continue to do so. And I commend so many of you who are going to change your lives dramatically between now and the next 5 years from now. I'm really excited for you. The Dow is up 277 points. This is an excellent run this morning. We're up 0.82%. The S&P is up 26 points, and NASDAQ is up 115. So it looks really good right now. GameStop, $224.94, up $5.60, 225 now, just went through 225 like a hot knife through butter. GameStop went through 225 like it wasn't even there. 225.50, moving up yet again. Good to see GameStop moving higher. If I could tell you the reason, I would. I don't have one sitting in front of me that's telling me why the stock is on a bit of a roll, but I will say this. The company did raise, now 226 by the way, they did raise $1.12 billion at $225 a share last week. This is the first time since they've raised this money that the stock is actually trading at the same price or higher than what they issued the stock to, or what they issued the stock for, excuse me, to raise that money. Very, very good. Volume 548,000. There is no volume happening here. It's a straight up shot. It kind of looks like the reverse of an attack. It's the opposite direction. The question I have for you and me, is this the beginning of this thing we're talking about? Is this the beginning of this new SEC rule coming into effect? Is this the initial beginning of this? Is there all of a sudden an issue where here we go, Thomas? Thank you for this. I appreciate this. It has nothing to do with NSCC 02 T plus 21 or anything like that. I'm sure it has nothing. Is this true or not true? It's 224 up 477. AMC is not participating in it at the moment. It's only up 94 cents. However, as I said earlier, and I'll repeat it, Bed Bath & Beyond had a real shot at the opening here. It was up almost $3 a share. It's now only up 124. Was that to do with? Did it affect it? I don't know. BlackBerry is only up 2 cents. It doesn't seem to have much going on, although 1.9 million volume. Are these meme stocks getting affected by this rule thing, this NSCC 002 thingy? Is this going to affect the meme stocks? All I have to say is that would be great. Am I counting on it to make GameStop a winner? No. I'm not counting on it whatsoever. It's gravy. It's just added atmosphere. I'll take it. We're at 226.44, up $7 a share. Fantastic. But what's driving it, how, when, where, I don't know. AMC 57.36 down 94 cents. The stock did get to 58.76, but has been under a bit of an attack here, but only 11 million traded on AMC. There is no volume on AMC right now. I mean, it is really quiet. That is very quiet. So there's no rush to get into the AMC. GameStop volume is 617,000. That's not heavy either. It's okay, but it's not like, oh, there's a wave of buying coming in. Having said that, though, you notice that only 700,000 shares traded, 600,000 shares traded on GameStop, and it's up $6. There's nothing for sale. There's nothing there. Interesting. That I wonder about too. I don't know, guys. 260 point gain on the Dow, 24 on the S&P, 98 on NASDAQ. I just want the stocks to go up. I just want you guys to get richer. I'm really not, I'm not holding any stock back. I want them all to go. If you've got them, I want them to go up for you. Gore's up 24 cents to 15.44. 23andMe up 8 cents to 12.12. Fifth Wall Acquisition is up a dime to 12.05. That's an all-time high range right now for Fifth Wall. Vector is unchanged at 10.31. Navsite up 2 cents to 9.98, and Starboard down 3 cents to $10 even. Not a lot happening there yet. It is what it is. The Dow, like I say, up 266 points, nearest high of the day. A very good start. Don't know what to. I'm not poo-pooing it. We're gonna grab it. Microsoft up $1.40. Apple only up 39 cents. Tesla up $19.74. Very interesting start to the day. On the bank side, I want to take a look here. Goldman Sachs up 3.12 and JP Morgan up 56 cents. So these banks are not yet getting any follow through of significance at all. Nothing yet. We'll watch for that. Coinbase up 2.69, Intel up 26 cents, Micron Technology up $1.12. I'm looking at all these stock. Trying to figure out DraftKings $51. It's battled through the 40s, even though there's a huge shorter trying to crush these guys. They battle back to 51. 21.50 on SoFi, up a dime. And GameStop, 225.46, up $6. Very interesting start to the day. Refresh on my screen. 225 on GameStop, up 583 with a 273-point gain on the Dow, which I believe is the high of the day. Webull just told me it'll take another week to transfer my GameStop shares to Fidelity, and in the meantime, they keep blocking me from trading anything. That shows you how they care about customer service. So what can I say? Uncle Bruce, I'm thinking about selling my GameStop to buy AMC, enough to write covered calls against it, but which is going to pop or implode first? One company has cash and no debt. One company has cash and unbelievable amounts of debt. One company is a lot more solid financially than the other company. One company has paid off all their long-term debt. The other one hasn't. And that's all I'm going to say. There you go. Eddie, first we'll take GameStop and then AMC. Make an adaptation of Leonard Cohen's song and says, first we'll take Manhattan, then we take Berlin. I want Jen to feed Uncle Bruce a bagel with a hockey stick. There you go. Here you go. Bruce is on fire today. Oh, no. I don't know. Apparently, Ryan Cohen tweeted something yesterday that made the Reddit crowd go nuts. They said his tweet aligned with the T+21 and anticipated a good run today. That's pretty cool. Bruce, tell Apple to slow down. My 134 calls expire tomorrow. Oh, my. What else is going on? Uncle Bruce talks about high-speed rail today. Bernie Sanders talked about it yesterday. Same hair between them. Coincidence? I don't think so. Aha! We know where Bernie hangs out between sessions of Congress. Aha! There you go. Uncle Bruce, I have 3 GameStop 230 calls expiring tomorrow. Should I take a $600 profit? Is there much more upside holding for tomorrow? I have 3... did you write them or do you own them? Are you long these calls? They expire tomorrow. Yeah, if you're long, you may want to do a rollover and go further out to stay alive because you're running out of time. But, the stock is up $6 so far. I don't know, if you go up another $5 or $6 more today, you could have a better profit, but I don't know how much. You are still underwater. You are technically worthless on your contract. But I'm happy to see that from the 200s to here, you've already got this run. You weren't looking good a couple days ago if you held them a few days ago. So I don't know. Rolling over might not be a bad idea anyway. Yeah. What can I say? GameStop did hit 226. It's 225.03. What can I say? Welcome all to the show as we're getting through the opening here. Thank you for the 572 thumbs ups today, everybody. Appreciate that. That's awful kind of you to get me through that first 500 already. I do appreciate it. Nice to have you here this morning. And well, let's just see what's going on. Here we go. I sold out my Tesla position at 626 to buy more GameStop. Everyone still holding Tesla can thank me for popping it up now that I've sold. There you go. Now Tesla can run, and now GameStop can run because you're in. There you go. 226 on GameStop, up 722 on the morning. This is right near the high of the day. And so, Daniel, because of you, GameStop's going up, and so's Tesla. How about that? Right on. Oh man, I don't know, folks. It's an interesting market. 281 on the gain right now for the Dow, 26 on S&P, 105 on Nasdaq. Very good opening today for the big three markets. 2150 on SoFi, 226.59 roughly on GameStop, up 7.25. ATIP down 4 cents to 931. AMC 57.73 down 57 cents. Not really going anywhere. Let's see. SoFi calls are 15 cents. I don't know what that means. I have a problem with SP. I've seen every episode 100 plus times, and that's not hyperbole. Let's see. What else have we got going here? Yeah, here we go. Selling out of lots of other lower conviction positions. Bought another 100 SoFi, Bruce. That's 700 now with an average of $20. I don't mind averaging up. It's going to be a winner. Let's see. What else? 227 on GameStop. John, thank you for that. Yep. Nazareth call option spreads. We're going to get into that at the classroom. A little more complicated than we want to get into right now. Let's see. Let's see. Bruce, I'm thinking of starting a margin account on Webull for GameStop. My portfolio is up 600%, so I think it's good. My portfolio is 99.9% GameStop stock. I would not be doing margin. No. I would not be doing that. Any updates on the classes? Maybe rough estimates when we can probably start seeing them roll out. Might help people plan their schedule ahead of time. Very shortly, we could be doing something in the next, it should be in about the next 2 to 3 weeks, very quickly. I'm trying to figure out which weekend we get going. We're doing some test classes right now. We're doing some testing and logistics, so it's getting very close, and as soon as I can announce it, I will. I wish Tesla would hurry and come to my country as well. Love the car, but little to no infrastructure here yet, sadly. I hear you there, B. Fitz. Hey, Bruce, what happens if you sell a covered call on GameStop, say a $500-600 call for 6 months out, and it squeezes in the meantime to $700? Do you just buy it back at some point, or do you miss out on the squeeze? Well, if you sold a $500 or $600 call and you brought in $50-60 a share in cash in the meantime, and the stock starts to run into the 450, 475, 500 range, you might buy your calls back for a bit more than you wrote them for. Maybe you buy them for $30 more, but you do a rollover and you now write $800 calls or $1,000 calls. So, you buy back the call you sold for 4 or 6 months out. It might be 4 months from now, or 2 months from now, you do the buyback. And then you write new calls for 6 or 7 months out at 800 or 1,000, and you just pull the string on the call. And so, yeah, you didn't make any money on these calls. You sold them for say 60, you buy them back for 80. I'm just throwing a number around. I'm not sure if this is accurate, but let's say you buy them back at 80, but now you're writing a call contract for $800 for 6 months out. You might get 80 for that one. So that's a break even. You bought it for 80, sold a new one for 80, but you moved up $300 from strike price. Thank you very much. You're getting richer all the way. You're getting richer one way or the other. You're getting richer in book value. or you're getting richer in cash value on these contracts. If you have an option account, for most brokerage firms will insist that in order for you to have an option account, you have to have a margin account for your stock. Well, you might say to me, Bruce, I took the $50 that I got for those premiums. I put that into other stock, like I was picked up these other call contracts and other shares. I don't have the 50. So for me, I got to come up with 80. I don't even have the $80. Well, yes, you have access to the $80 with margin on your GameStop shares. Why would you have that margin ability? Because your stock went up to 450 from 250. Your stock is way higher. So you're borrowing $80 a share to buy one call, two calls, whatever, for like 4 minutes. You're buying these calls back because you've identified the contract you're going to write now at 800 a share or 900 a share or 1,000 a share for 5 or 6 months or 7 months out at about 80 or 90 or even 100. And so you're borrowing to buy the $80 calls back. You're selling these $90, $100 positions right here. That goes against the 80. You now have a cash balance higher in your account. You've eliminated the $500, $600 calls, and you've replaced them with $800 to $1,000 calls. Getting richer all the time. All right. 226 was the last trade. We're now 225 on GameStop. Let's see here. What else is going on? We did hit 227. Let's go. Let's see. Here we go. I got 200 shares with an average of 160. I'm happy with this. Let's see. Aaron bought 130 this morning at 219. I should have done the opposite of the opposite. It should have been anti-Costanza. Hey, Bruce, would you guesstimate that we're going to be on the mostly upward trend your pick from here out this summer? Yeah. The markets are going higher. I don't know what day, what week, but they're going higher. I need classes on this stuff. Observe wasn't my guess. Believe me, close at 235. Anyway, here we go. Here we go. Aaron, company's debt free. Just raised $1.2 billion. Company's ready to boom. They got $1.9 billion cash, no debt. Hello. You think something's going to happen with this company? I think so. I think something good's going to happen. Something better than before is going to happen. Yeah. Can GameStop shares go to 300-400 a share? Yeah, sure. Can they go to 500-600? Yeah. Could they take over other companies? Yeah, they could well do that. They're getting richer and larger and more powerful. Yeah. These are all the good things. These are good things. Good things are good for stocks. John, do you think the summer doldrums in the stock market will be different from things reopening? I don't know if there's going to be a summer doldrum. We have been on a summer doldrum since last year when everything shut down last March. It's been a year and 3 months of doldrums. The market took its dump back in March of last year, then not slowly, but fairly quickly recovered it within 2 to 3 months, got it all back by June last year, and has been riding it ever since. Last summer, there was no doldrums. The summer was just a power up. We're going to do that this year because in the past, people used to work the 50 weeks a year, get their 2 weeks summer holiday and take off. And brokers took their 2 weeks off. And, it would all kind of get quiet and, drift down and not much going on. That's not the case anymore. People are holding their brokerage accounts with this. They're on the road to go to Nantucket or go to Michigan or go to cottage country somewhere, and they're taking this with them. This is now with them all the time. They don't talk to a stockbroker anymore. You don't call your broker to place orders or contracts. There's no desk traders to be yelled at by the stockbroker anymore. It's all done by yourself. There will be no summer doldrums. There's none of that. And the market has gone global. This used to be a kind of a country club crowd kind of existence, this stock market. In the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, I bet you 95% of the people who played the stock market were of a upper middle class or higher designation. And even then, only 10% of those folks had anything to do with stocks. 90% didn't know a thing about it, or left it to a mutual fund, maybe, if that. There were virtually no women in the business per se. It was a man's business. So was insurance, and so was the automobile business, and so everything was a man's world, except for where the gals were secretaries and they had the glass ceiling and all the crap that the women went through. Unbelievable. It was a man's world, and guys went on holidays with their kids and wives and took off, and the market got quiet in the summertime. Not the case anymore. This market is now democratic. This market now covers men and women. This market covers people who are lower middle class. There are people who aren't even in the middle class at all who are in the market. People now with $50 can be in this market. Hundreds of millions of people with $50 are in this market. The upper middle class and higher, half of them are in the market, if not three quarters. The number of people participating in the market in a percentage basis has skyrocketed. And there are no stockbrokers to talk to and to worry about calling you back to place an order. I mean, I remember when I used to go to the bathroom. I would go to the bathroom and come back a couple of minutes later, and my receptionist would say, or my secretary would say, "You had 4 calls." I go, "I was just in the bathroom for 3 minutes. I got 4 calls, and I've got to now make calls. And while I'm making the calls, I'm getting more calls. People were trying to talk to me about doing business, and I can only do one at a time." That is gone now. That world doesn't exist anymore. It's now you doing your own orders whenever you want to. Even if you're on the bathroom, you can make trades on the stock. This is a whole new world. There will not be a summer slowdown. No, that's gone. Those are gone. Those are gone. Oh my gosh. How do I go into hibernation so that I wake up 4 or 5 months later and skip all this stuff, waiting around and stuff? The only thing stopping a GameStop is World War III. Yeah, what can I say? No other meme is sitting where GameStop is. That's right. And the news doesn't want to tell you this. That's true. There's no analysts on Wall Street that are coming out to say GameStop is the strongest financial company of any meme stock in the world. No one's going to tell you that because there's no fans. The stock has no sponsors and backers other than Jefferies. The company is the richest meme stock out there. They have power. They have the ability to cut deals. This has just happened. GameStop has also completely changed everything in 6 months, where all the other meme stocks have not completely changed everything in 6 months. AMC comes closest to changes in that they've raised money by issuing stock. Everything their shareholders don't want them to do, they've done it anyway to raise money. And now they're asking their shareholders to let them raise more money through the July annual meeting because they want to raise another bunch of money by selling another 25 million shares. The shareholders of AMC don't want them to do that, but the company has to do that to fund themselves through a higher level. Big war. But in GameStop's case, shareholders have said, do whatever you want. Just go. You've got carte blanche. Get out there, Mr. Korn. Make greatness happen. And he is. He has taken this company to a whole other level that no other meme stock has. No other meme stock is as rich as these guys. These guys are the leaders. They're number uno. But Wall Street won't tell you that. No way are they going to talk to you about that. I want GameStop on a 10-to-1 stock split so I can write calls and collect that sweet, sweet premium. Let's go. What else is going on? I notice lots of technical analysis guys on YouTube are making more and more videos saying the GameStop squeeze is imminent, more than usual, citing 1.12 billion raised. What are your thoughts? There's been theory after theory after theory brought up yet again and again and again, but the stock goes up, in my opinion, for one reason now and one reason only. Management of the company. They are delivering the goods. Management of the company has taken this company and transformed it completely, turned it completely in the other direction. And that's why this stock is doing what it's doing. What is the bullish case for NSH again? When is the merger? We don't have a merger date. We know it's coming at any time. We're waiting for them to bring out their news. Navsite Holdings, these guys are Spire Global, and the word has it that Spire has already been touted as a $14 stock the minute they list. on this merger already. There's all kinds of things happening on NavSite. NavSite is a information provider. They operate satellites in orbit. They handle operating satellites, data back and forth. This is an incredibly lucrative business. If you are any kind of a company with a server, you need someone to allow you to move your data around. How do you move data from one side of the country to another, from one side of the world to the other? In light speed, you do it through satellites. How do you do it without interference from the ground? You do it through satellites. Yes, this company is the satellite operator for data, and they are integral to literally every S&P 500 company out there. It's unbelievable how important these people are. Anyway, what can I say? Let's go. Aaron, Wally, GameStop is a win-win in my book. Just bought my first option, Bruce, says Ryan. Way to go. Let's see. Good morning, afternoon, everybody. We have 635 thumbs. Let's get Bruce the other 365 as soon as possible. Sharon, thank you for letting everybody know how we're doing. We have 650 thumbs ups for this show right now already, with 52 on the downside. We got a 13-to-1 ratio, positive to negative. If you can get me to 1,000 thumbs ups, we'll be at 20-to-1. Get me 1,000 thumbs ups, people. Please hit the thumbs up button for me and run that thing. 657 now are sitting here. 660 are sitting here. We only need 340 more, and we got 1,000 thumbs ups. Thank you, everyone, so much for your continued good wishes and support of this channel. 679 now. We're popping higher, going for 700 right now. Thank you, everybody. Keep those thumbs ups coming in, man. This is good stuff. Thank you. What is happening? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Welcome, Shillers, one and all. All the Shillers are here on this channel today. There we go. I'm trading stock on my phone while in the pool. Summer can't stop me. There you go. There you go. Yes, babies. We're going higher. We're going higher, I think. Oh my gosh. Trying to keep up with all of your comments is not easily to do. I just bought my first option, SOFI, $20 strike for March 18th, 2022 for 260. What do you think? Yeah, I like that move. $20 strike. It's in the money. $1.26, and you're only getting it for 260. That's a deal. That is a beautiful deal. That stock at $30, you got yourself a $12 contract for a 260 cost. Yeah, I like that. You're gonna make money here. Bruce, who goes to the bathroom? Nobody does that. We don't go to the bathroom. We make money all the time. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. And let's see. Yep. Yeah. Aaron. Yeah. GameStop. He's the founder of Chewy, Mr. Cohen. He stole a boatload of executives from Chewy and Amazon. He's cut the right people coming into that company to do the right things. Yeah, I like the group there. Let's see. Yeah, right. Hypothetical, Bruce. If you were offered a job with GameStop as an investor relations guy, with a really good salary, would you accept it? Especially if you could do it from home? No, I can't. I'm too old. I've got too much in the skin in this game right here. I'd rather do what I'm doing here. I want to start traveling. I want to start traveling and get out of this house. Like many of you, you've been trapped at home. And I've been working here. I've been running my other channel for almost 4 years. It'll be 4 years in August that TWB was created. This channel is now 13 months roughly old. And I've been working it in the living room of my house. And I want to get going. I want to meet you in person. I want to see you folks at meet and greets. I want to I want to go on cruises. I want to live my life. I'm 65. I'm going to be 66 this year. No, there's no investor relations department that can use a guy like me. You don't need a guy like me. It would be too restrictive for me. I love the freedom to speak my mind, about what I think is going on in the marketplace and what, in plain English. And I am not beholden to anybody. I don't own any stock in any of the companies I talk about. I don't own any stock in any companies, as a matter of fact. I am just a YouTuber trying to, make friends on YouTube and not upset too many people, which is sometimes very difficult to do. And that way I can just, go my way. As far as being an investor relations person, I would be restricted to the company message. I would be restricted by the in-house legal counsel. I would not be my own free thinker. I'm just, doing what I'm told. But there are people out there who are perfect for these jobs. They're perfect for this, especially those in their 20s and 30s who are getting into the biz. This is a beautiful way to get into the business. If you can get a job in an investor relations department of a publicly traded company, 5 and 10 years from now, you are valuable real estate, baby. You are worth a lot of money to somebody else, or you could become the head of an investor relations department. Every public company has to have one, and this is an incredibly important position. It used to be just the promotion department, and the PR department. They were just over there, those goofy, kooky kids with zany ideas, and they would organize the company golf tournament every year. No. Now it's a big part of the operation. You have the ear of the chairman of the board, the CEO, and if you don't, you are in the wrong public company. The investor relations department is integral to the messaging of the company to the world. It's incredibly important. There's some real opportunities out there, but no. 20 years ago, 25 years ago, at age 40, that would have been just right there, ideal. But back at age 40, I was a president of my own public company. So I was also the head of the investor relations department because I had all the titles along with my business partner. We each had 20 titles each because we were a two-man public company. There were two of us with no other employees except maybe one. I think we had a receptionist, and then we had entities that we utilized for our business. We had a very small little entity. We did all the jobs way back when. Anyway, there you go. Bruce, I'm looking at picking up some January 22 SLAV calls. SLAV. What's SLAV? Have you mistyped something? Are you SVAC maybe? Are you talking about SVAC? I'm wondering. The pricing looks pretty good, but I don't know what stock you're talking about. You got to help me there, Casey. Okay, SVAC. There it is. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. I suspected it was SVAC. Right, Starboard. Okay, so you're looking at picking up January 22nd, 12 and a half strike calls. The stock is right now sitting at what, $10, 10.01. So it's all premium, but and you're 2.5 out of the money. So you're even if your shares were to get to 12 and a half, they'd probably trade at $2. You'd be up on that. So what is it? January? Yeah, you're okay with January. Yeah, you're not paying too much for that. There you go. Okay. Way to go. Let's go. What's up, says Alex. Hey, I'm glad GameStop has money. Now it's our turn. 221 on the stock. Got us high today as 226 or so. 227.45, but right now 221.50, up $2 at the moment. Little pause in the action. The Dow's up 242, S&P up 23, NASDAQ up to 120 at the moment. SoFi down 16 cents. Again, we have a little midday profit taking going on across the board right now. ATIP down 7 cents. AMC down $1.42. Gore's down a penny. 23andMe up 30 cents. It is the one bucking the trend, going the other direction, which is wonderful. On 493,000 shares. Hello.
Tesla's up $25.
Yeah, welcome, Jen. Tesla is up $25. She just noticed that. It's up $25.62 to $682 now. That stock's had a good run the last week or so, and it's looking a lot better. That's what we have at this point. How you doing, Jen? What's going on?
Nothing. Looking at the amount of rain we had last night. Got some puddles out there still.
When I woke up this morning, we had lightning going all over the place, but we didn't have like London fog type clouds. I could see the clouds around mountains around us, but we had lightning everywhere. And then the rains came, and we had some really heavy rain coming down for about an hour and a half off and on. And that's why you still see the puddles. But now I can see blue sky through some of the cracks over there. So unsettled, but
yes.
we need rain. We all need rain. Western United States desperately needs rain.
Yeah.
California, Nevada, Arizona,
They need
Texas,
like a 2-week soak.
Colorado. Rain is badly needed through the western half of the U.S. in the worst way. I hope some is getting there. I don't know though. We'll see what's going on. Unbelievable. Yeah.
So what's it going to be this morning?
Well,
What are you thinking?
what should I have? I got these cheese bagels. Like these.
Cheese bagel with the egg. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I can't have a cheese bagel with grape jelly. I can't do that. That doesn't work for me.
Carefully slice the cheese off the top of the bagel.
I don't think we want to do that. I don't think we should mess with that. That's no. There are probably people going, ew. No, I don't think we're going to be doing that.
You're like scaling a fish.
Yeah, I don't want to scale a fish. See a headline here: S&P 500, Nasdaq notch all-time highs early Thursday. Yep, that's what they're doing. The Dow is up 267. Still needs a little more, but it too will hit new all-time highs. We're very close. Yeah, what to have this morning? Had egg already. I had the egg.
You did.
Had the egg the other day.
You had a meat already.
I had the meat version already too. So what do I do?
Do you want just butter? You want cream cheese? I could give you a schmear.
Maybe a schmear of cream cheese might be the way to go. Maybe we could try that. We could do the schmear of cream cheese on a cheese top bagel. Toasted cheese bagel with a schmear of cream cheese.
Spreading your wings.
Look at him spreading his wings. How about that? Oh my. Uncle Bruce, AB there, Aaron saying, AB, there's evidence on the subreddit, Super Stonk, insane open source research going on. Visa just bought a Swedish fintech startup for $2.1 billion, but that doesn't tell you the value of SoFi. I don't know what does. This is an indication that others are getting into the SoFi business. SoFi is really going to run here. I'm just saying, eventually it's going to run. Anyway, what can I say? What can I say? Thank you, everybody, for being here. I'm just reading comments. I don't want to read comments that are between people. There's no point in doing that. Anyway, David is saying, I'm holding 30 $10 calls on NSH for July 16. Yeah, you're pushing it. I own them at 10 cents each, though. I need them to pop a little bit already. Yeah, I mean, if they go to 20, 30 cents. But, you're not going to become a millionaire on this deal. But you are risking, $300, I guess. So there you go. Anyway, what can I say? GameStop, Christina saying GameStop is a following that will take their dollar winnings and spend it back at GameStop. Let's see. I use sharks with laser beams on their heads to transfer my data. I don't need no satellites. Hey, man, I got sharks with freaking lasers on their heads. Is it too much to ask to have some sharks with freaking lasers on their heads? Dr. Evil, we've changed. Since you've been away, the world has really changed. Oh, really? Anyway, yes. Yeah, what else is going on? Now that's good stuff with that Austin Powers tie and Visceral. And GameStop is like that Rodney Dangerfield character, Al Shervick to the stock market. They hate it, won't talk about it, think it's a cancer to be removed. Let's see. Multi-Dog is saying, hey, I'm on the road, but I just want to say good morning. How you doing, Multi-Dog? I'm glad to hear from you. Looks like attacks are happening across the board. We got 20. What's that, Jen?
I said drive safe.
Drive safe. That's right. Barely a million shares traded. The Age of Toilet Trader. That's a good one. I might have to grab it myself. I'm a dinosaur. I still use a stockbroker at Merrill Lynch, and we confirm deals on the phone. FWIW, they process the SPAC transfers out nonsense, fees added. And let's see. What can I say? Let's see. Bruce, any thoughts on when we might see a price target announcement for 23andMe? Well, the company's been listed a week now. I'm giving it the first couple of months for the street to kind of get a handle on all these new companies. There were 15 IPOs this week, so analysts are up to here covering new stocks, including the SPACs that have converted in. Only 2 have done SOFI write-ups so far. So I'm expecting dozens and dozens of analysts to do dozens and dozens of write-ups on dozens of stocks throughout the entire summer. So, it's coming. I can't tell you when. We're up 30 cents on 23andMe to $12.34. I'm happy to report that. Happy to see it. The shares were at $13, early on in their existence, in this name, but they're recovering again, and I'm happy to see the movement, the up movement on the stock today already. SoFi down 29 cents to 21.11. It did get an attack. It did get hit from the 21.50 range to here, 40 cents or so. Got as low as 21.03, now at 21.11 on just 1 million shares, though. GameStop 223.60. Looks like it's coming back up again right now. ATP down 9 cents. AMC down $1.16. Gore's unchanged. And 23andMe up 30 cents. Everything else is off right now as far as the other SPACs go at the moment. The Dow is up 278, coming back on. S&P up 28 and NASDAQ up 124. So the market is improving again, and we'll see what's going on. Biden to meet with senators and bid to finalize agreement on bipartisan infrastructure plan. Let's see if that happens. We'll see what's going on. Mortgage rates jump above 3% for the first time since April. Analysts and economists are warning they might go higher. We'll see about that. It's not going to kill the housing market. Even 4% interest rates on mortgages is not going to kill the housing market. Let's see. Okay, I'm thinking bacon, eggs, and wheat toast this morning, says anti-PC. Let's see. Uncle Bruce, do you think that FWAA could be your most lucrative SPAC? Lots of action and is held above $11 without options enabled. It is unusual. A SPAC is listed so far out from the deal. It's not unusual to be listed so far out from the deal. This is no brainer here. The deal's been announced. We now believe we're 45 days away from the deal closing. So FWAA is moving ahead, and that deal is a solid arrangement. It's going to happen. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Oh, look at this.
A little schmear.
A little schmear on the bagel there. A little schmear. That looks very delicious, and I'm quite looking forward to this.
Now, it's up to these guys to tell you if you get cream cheese mouth.
Oh, you have to let me know if I get cream cheese mouth.
In case you got a little like there.
Yeah, because I haven't shaved for 3 days, so this beard is now filling in.
Oh, so much.
And it'll all get caught up in the hair. Mountain man. He's a mountain man. Yeah, okay.
No.
Bruce the mountain man. He's out of control.
You're
Look
a good
out.
Deutscher. You have no hair here. It's only down along your chin.
Yeah, I'm a good Deutscher.
Good Deutscher. Sure, that's a term.
I'm sure that's a term. I'm sure we're not offending anybody. We never offend.
Never.
Oh gosh, I offended everybody this morning. I covered it all. I make the mistake of trying to tell people how world events can affect investments, and that means I'm talking about too much stuff other than stock. Well, if you don't cover world events, you're not covering the markets, and if you're not covering the markets, you're not able to interpret what's happening and why. And so if you want to walk around like this, you can do that, but you're not going to.
You can't play the market.
You can't play the market that way. So of course that means I offend. You mentioned one word about one thing, and that's obviously a dig at somebody, because everyone is so sensitive now. What are you going to do?
We're so woke.
We're so woke. We be so's wokes now. Oh gosh, yeah, it is what it is. I was trying to find. I had a comment up here, and then I X'd the comment out to kind of have the clear screen so I could show this picture. Now I can't find the comment that I X'd out, and I keep getting thousands of comments every minute. So I'm way off. So I just have to keep going, which means I might upset people who I wrote you didn't read my comment, man. It's difficult.
Are you the grumpy old man today?
Are you the grumpy old man? Did you not get enough sleep? I can't get a break anywhere. I'm in trouble everywhere.
Oh, it's okay.
It's okay. Oh, 223.54 on GameStop. Is that okay? We're up $4.20 a share on GameStop. Is that all right? It's not that easy. It used to be easy, but it's not that easy anymore. There's a comment I remember. We're waiting for that someday, somehow, somewhere. Okay. And then I read this comment. This company could well be, but I don't know. I like SoFi too. I like them all. I love all these SPACs for all their own unique reasons. Anyway, Uncle Bruce, I want to start traveling again too. Yes, I do want to start traveling, guys. Boy, I can't wait. We need you, Uncle Bruce. I want to take you with me. Don't think that I want to travel and not do this. No. I want to travel and do these shows from wherever I am. It doesn't matter where I am physically. I have this computer. I have this telephone. I have this big ass iPad right here. I am linked in on internet, and I can be live every day anywhere I happen to be located. It doesn't matter. The question, of course, is getting from point A to point B during the hours that I get there so that I don't miss showtime. But oh yeah, you're gonna come. I'm taking you with me. Yeah, I'm on the road, live on the road. So don't think that I will be off the air for 2 weeks because I'm traveling somewhere. Oh gosh, no, not at all. No. We've only just begun. Cheers, everybody. I'm having bagels with cream cheese on them. A shmia, as Jennifer calls it, a little shmia. 223 on the GameStop right now is where we're at, and that's the story. That's the fact, Jack. Nice. Aaron. Agreed, says Aaron. I'm also self-employed and run my own martial arts academy. I couldn't work for anyone else ever again. I haven't done since age 25. We're on the same wavelength, Brucey. Did you say free thinker? John Summers, Bruce, what do you make of the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac situation where they lost 60% in their stock price yesterday? Echo of a market crash. Is this what Michael Burry is seeing? I don't know, John. That I can't answer that. Crypto Addict, Bruce, I had a dream last night. We were chatting in person about this weird stock. I think it's called GameStop, and it was right around the 960 mark. Seems like the future, like a peek into the future to me. There we go, John. My SoFi calls are 10 cents now, due tomorrow. 625, 23 SoFi. ARG 2121 on the stock. I just got home from work and straight to listening to Uncle Bruce, says Nitin Pin. John, my bad. British Shilling. Aaron, one of my close friends, just started a similar venture. Very exciting. Can't agree more, Uncle Bruce. With all these lockdowns, crippling depression is kicking in. Had to cancel my trip to Korea back in April 2020. Folk must be itching to get out of the house. Yeah, I believe it. Wally, I want to see Uncle Bruce remote streams from his cruise ship of life. Just would be so darn cool. Uncle Bruce streaming live from the Sea of Galilee. I would love to announce a group cruise. Get 500 of us on that ship between this channel and the other channel. Take over the main ballroom, the big showroom, and I'll get a couple people to operate cameras, and we'll do a live show right from the stage. You guys all have to, of course, be prepared to be on camera, wave at the world, but That would be pretty cool to let the rest of the channel know we're here. How are you? I hope you're having a good day. We're on a cruise ship. Anyway, there you go. Uncle Bruce, I meant to say GHVI $20 strike, March 2022 for 260. What are your thoughts? Scores? $20 strike price for 260. It's expensive. I wish you were coming in closer. Come into 1750s or 15s. I'll just buy the dip. There you go. I'll buy the dip. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. Buy the dip. Amy doing great. 23andMe at 12.31, up 27 cents, is doing just great. Good morning, Jen. Good morning, Jen. Good morning, Jen. Hello, Jen. This is something for the classes. PE ratios, we have to talk about that. So if I killed my portfolio, but it's what it is. Money is just a commodity in life. I'd rather have love than internal happiness. Plus, if the stock would go up, that would be kind of nice too. Hi, Jen. I live in Sacramento. Good morning, Jen. Everyone is happy Jen is here, and thank you, Jen. I think the SoFi premium prices are a tad bit high. I got the 20 strikes for 350. Just pops too much in the price, but I'm not complaining. But still, let's go. Let's go. We're still rolling here. Thank you, everybody. Cream cheese, Bruce. Oh man, cheese bagel with cheese. Whoa, whoa. Bruce, if you did a group cruise, you did a main stage show, how'd you set up? And who would you pursue for prizes for the showcase showdown? Oh my gosh. Uncle Bruce, it was me. You didn't read my comment. Oh, wait. Oh, never mind. You just did. Never been on a cruise. Oh, those are fun. Uncle Bruce in the morning. Well, I can't dance. I can't walk. Only thing about me is the way that I stonk. If the premiums are too high, buy the stock and write covered calls against it and take the money. Interesting comment. GameStop is like watching a game of chicken between hedge funds and retail investors. Who flinches first? Zero volume lately, and if any volume comes in, the price pops. So I sit and wait and buy the dips. Right. I think the retail investors will win, because retail investors don't have billions on the line each. They have hundreds or thousands of dollars on the line each, not billions, and they can afford a loss. Hedge funds can't afford billions in losses. GameStop investors are as patient as all get up. They'll wait another 6 months, a year. Hedge funds need results every quarter. Here we go. Knitting without the G. Right on. One of many, I think. Let's see. And with wood up so high, are your cell phone amplifiers now $500 a piece? SoFi, August 2021, $20 strike call for 320. Your thoughts? SoFi, August call. Well, $2 premium on a contract, about 2 months to live. $0.05 a day. It'll depreciate 5 cents a day in time value. Just saying. it better move. I mean, the stock goes to $25, which would be kind of nice. It goes to $25. This contract is a $5 contract plus $1.50 premium. It's a $6.50 call, $7 call. Nice return for a $3.20 purchase, right? Yeah. And it's in the money right now. This $20 contract is in the money, $1.23 right now. So obviously a 40-cent move from here is 40 cents added value of book value, right? So the higher it goes, obviously, as soon as it hits 23.20, you are fully covered for the full price of this contract. And so it only needs to go up $2 from here to get you fully covered. The catch is between now and August, but we've seen this stock move 250 in a day. So, I don't anticipate it to go to 10. It could, but I don't anticipate that. I expect it to go to 30 more than to 10. I expect it to go to 30 more than to even 15. I think it'll go to 25 more than 18. I think it'll go to 24 versus 20. But that's just me. I'm only a guy in a living room who loves this stock and this company and its potential, its future. But you're giving yourself only till August. And if you're prepared to pay $3.20 for a contract, why don't you buy a contract further out in time for $3.20 with a different strike price and take this 60-day thing off the table? Because I don't like short contracts. Okay, there you go. Michael says, I just put in an order for 117 Gores, $17.50 strike call options for January. Tell me I'm going to be okay. Well, I hope so. Gores Holdings in Matterport. I like it a lot. Yeah. I saw the story. I don't have a problem with it. This isn't a millionaire, it's a billionaire. I have no problem with it. When this individual set up his Roth IRA, he wasn't a billionaire. This is the American dream, and I think it should be left intact and don't screw with it. All Americans should have a shot at something like this. I haven't got a problem with this deal. Uncle Bruce, looking at 23 ME, January 2022, $10 strike calls at $4 or $12.50 strike at $2.90. Which is the better value and which is a good buy? 23 ME is $12.27 right now. The $10 strike, they're asking $4. It's got a book value of $2.27, so you're paying a premium of $1.73. Good deal. The 12 and 50s are at the money, just barely. That is a $2.90 premium. Buy the 10s if you can afford them. Buy the 10s. If you can afford the 10s. Okay. Uncle Bruce, imagine how funny it would be to randomly start a live stream having an unannounced staring contest with the viewers. Oh, man. Uncle Bruce, have you taken a peek at the July 16th SoFi calls? No, I don't take a look at the July 16th SoFi calls. I have no interest in July SoFi calls. Open interest from $20 all the way to 30 massive. Yeah, I'm just not interested. Need the power thumbs for Uncle Lumberjack Bruce. Thank you, everybody. How are we doing for thumbs ups? Are we getting anywhere? 806 on the thumbs ups. Thank you, guys. We're at 806. We need 194 more to get to 1,000 thumbs ups. If you could help me out, get me another 194 thumbs ups quickly. Let's run this thing to the 4-digit number. Let's get to 1,000 thumbs ups for this show and put some momentum on top of the YouTube thing that we got going here. That would be beautiful. We're at 822 now. We only need 178 more thumbs ups to hit 1,000. Now we're at 826. Thank you again and again and again. I so appreciate those of you who back up this channel with thumbs ups. You really come through for me, and I love you for it. 833 now, as we're pushing for 1,000 thumbs up. So we need 161 more. 839 now. 161 more is all we need to get to 1,000. We're at 840 now. 160 away. Thank you, everybody, for helping out. There's always a delay. I ask, and then about a minute or so later, they kick in. There's 850 right now, just like that. So already 850 thumbs ups have come through here. We're 149 away now, 851, 149 to go. And we have 1,000 thumbs ups for this show despite despite how small the audience is. I love you guys for this. It's great. Thank you so much. $135 to go. Yeah, baby. Thank you. $129. I'm so into that group cruise. About 5 ATIP calls expiring in July. Any suggestions? Yeah. Don't buy July calls. When I tell you to buy January calls, don't buy July's. That's my advice. Oh, man. Where's Sir Branson out? Sir Branson, 23andMe, he used to squawk all the time. He's being muzzled. He's just cash. There'll be talk. Just stand by. 23andMe, there'll be talk. It's up 13 cents right now. It's up. Okay. I got 50 call options for ME at 12.5 strike at 260, expires January. Very pleasantly surprising that these options go up quite a bit the closer in the money they will go. Hi, Bruce, how long out would you be writing GameStop calls? I am referring to the contract's expiry. If you're going to write 600s, 500s, or $600 exercise price contracts for GameStop, then you're looking at 4 or 5 or 6 months. If you're going to write 300s or 280s, then you're looking at next Friday or the Friday after that, something like that. SOFI, January 2023, $50 call options for $4 each. Write them. I'd write them. If you need the money, you write them. I wouldn't buy them. I hear you. You're up on them. You're looking good. You're 215 in the money. 5th day of listing, 4th day of listing. Early. Yeah. I'd sit back. Sit back. Just curious, does YouTube allow you to see how many thumbs ups each member has given you? No. I don't know who it is. I don't know the history of this. These are just instant flash numbers that I see. I have to flick over to my YouTube channel. I see I have 898 thumbs ups right now. I got 62 on the downside. That's all I get. I don't know who's doing it. I don't know why. I'll create the show maybe a half an hour before I go live. I get the show up and created. And within 15 minutes, I got 15 thumbs ups and 2 thumbs downs. And I don't know who they are. And there's nothing I can do. It is just what it is. $9.11. 89 to go. Thank you. Only 89. What is it? About an old man eating a bagel on YouTube. It makes me want to buy stock. Yeah. How's the world changed? Love to go back in time. Love to go back in time. Back to 1962. When I was a child in grade school in Germany. but my father was in the Canadian Army. So I was in grade 1, and have the teacher, what do you want to be when you grow up? And then it's my turn. And I stand up and go, when I grow up, in 58 years from now, when I'm 65, in 58 years, I would like to be in my living room, in my home, sitting in front of a personal computer that has a camera and a microphone that allows me to broadcast my take on the investment world at large and project in plain English what I think is happening to the investment world at large to a global audience every day, 5 days a week for 5 hours a day on 2 different shows. And then in the after those, I'd like to post and upload a video recap of the shows as a 12 to 20 minute video every day, and offer my viewers the opportunity to become subscribers of my channel and members of my channel, and also offer any of those viewers from time to time to have a one-on-one private consultation with me on weekends. And then I would like to consider creating classes that the people can also subscribe to and get a more detailed review and description of what's happening in the stock market. That's what I'd like to do when I grow up. That teacher would have sent me to the principal's office right now for a spanking. This kid can't, we have to get rid of this kid. We can't have this disruptive force in the classroom. He's disturbing the rest of the class's normal flow. Now, Becky, what is 1 + 1? All right, back to class. All right, there we go. What if there's no bagels where you're going? Oh no. Anyone have the SOFI app? It's quite nice. I also have January calls, Bruce. The July were cheap and almost in the money. Ed, I hear you. GameStop, that many. Whales by leaps and shares. Sharks by 6-month calls. Fish by monthlies. Minnows by weeklies. I can't get enough either. Uncle Bruce and Jen's story is the highlight of my day. Oh my gosh. July calls wasn't for me to buy. Was more asking why you'd think there's over 100,000 open calls that week, and there's not as much interest earlier, leading to a 7.8 in July. More spec. Well, I guess BW, it's kind of reflecting just, the awareness factor of 23andMe is building. And it just could be that a lot of speculators are starting to come into the stock, which is a good thing, because I want to see this stock being speculated to $100 a share. That's what I want to see. I want to see that on all our SPACs. They got speculated to 100, and you guys are sitting in here at 990, 10, 1020, 1050. You're sitting on $10 contracts, 750 contracts, 1250s, 15s. I can't wait until you stop asking me what to do with 10s and 1250s. I want you asking me, what should I do with these 30s and 35s? That's what I want to hear from you, because you've made such a killing on these 10s and 12s and 15s already. I can't wait. We have 938 thumbs ups right now. Thank you, everybody. Sharon was just telling us a few minutes ago. This is about 5 minutes ago. We had 907. We're now at 938. Please keep them coming in, guys. Let's get us to 1,000 thumbs ups. Yeah, Wally, maybe they're holding their phone upside down, Bruce, when they give you a thumbs up. They think they're giving you a thumbs up, but they're actually giving you a thumbs down. They don't know. That's probably what it is. It's probably true. Yeah, Bruce, the 1 month outs usually have very high open interest. Very interesting. I got my like in, Bruce. Chrome Punisher, I got it. You got my thumbs up, buddy. I love you. Thank you, everybody, for helping out. Appreciate this. Did anyone else have a Q&A session with a Schwab person in order to get approved for level 1 trading? Uncle Bruce, I got a bunch of ATIP 1250 calls for November, and I paid $210 for those right before the big drop. I'm not going to lie. Lesson learned, buying overpriced calls. They won't be $210 if the stock was $10 now, I feel. Well, again, it all depends on what the company says. They bring out an announcement that they've hired Joe Schmuck to be blah, 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 and the stock pops 50 cents. They announce a partnership agreement with company blah, 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 and that pops the market another 60, 70 cents. You're at 10.40 a share. All of a sudden you're going, oh, we're on the go. It would take nothing to pop ATIP shares. Nothing. You just have to let it happen now. You've just got to be a patient investor. Let this company settle in. It's the first week of being a publicly traded company. There is so much to happen here. And just relax. Just it's gonna be okay. And I have a thumb on each hand, and I use one of them every time I turn on your show. One for the morning show and the other for the closing show. And I thank you so much. Late to the party today, says Vilbus. Went out garage selling for vintage goods and resell for stonk money. Already smashed that like button. Thank you. Bridge Ed Hawkins. Wow. One in each hand. This is incredible. What do you do with all the sun? Pixel Pony. Drew, yeah, there's so much going on in the app. Still getting used to it, but I like it. Still love my Weeble too. Living the dream, Bruce. There we go. I have 400 shares of ME. I want to write out of the money covered calls, but the premiums right now seem too low to bother or on just 4 contracts. Should I just wait till the stock finds some legs? Yes. You're not writing covered calls with the stock at $12.21 a share. No. You want to write covered calls with the stock at 25 to 35 a share. Then we're going to talk about writing 35s and 40s. You don't want to be writing 15s and 20s. Right. Larry, what's the difference between level 1, 2, and 3 options approval? I was approved for level 3. I have no experience at all. Yes, the higher the level, the more you can do, I believe. Bizzle, Bruce, I'm very behind on the stream, but I have to say, you really speak the truth on America, all the great things we have and how we're going to tear each other apart. It's unfortunate. I know and I'm just watching it from the outside. I'm going, man, why? No, your teacher would have sent you to an asylum if you were talking like that, Bruce, as a 7-year-old. You would have gone to the asylum. What's he saying? Internet? What's he talking about? Data rates? What's he saying? What? 1040p? Get the kid out of here. Speaking of, I still haven't gotten an email back about my one-on-one Mr. B. It's coming. I'm working on it. I'm kind of full right now. There's a couple of people I'm waiting on for a final decision. There might be an opening. That's why I'm holding up. You just got to bear with me. There are people out there who say, oh, I want your one-on-one, and then they don't pay for it, and I have to dump them, and I have to bring somebody else in, but I got to give them enough time to get their... that makes me go crazy like Yoko. Crazy like a whole bagel. On Schwab, you need level 1 just to buy long calls or puts. Level 0 is pointless. Damn it, Jim, look at that one. Last time I saw a month like that, I had a hook in it. This is crazy. We can't wait either. Drew, Pixel, yeah, I'm having issues with Fidelity and options, so I'm ready to move. Really considering Webull, but I like to go all in on the SoFi app. That and GameStop are big investments. Seeing 940 thumbs ups, let's get him to 1,000. 952 thumbs ups, let's get him to 1,000. Sharon is a thumbs up monitor. I walked to the other work CPU just to give an extra thumbs ups for Bruce. Bill, another big spending bill will be passed. Infrastructure, that $1 trillion like steroids for the market. John, John passed with flying colors. Morning, Uncle Bruce and Bagel Gang. Quick question. What's the right way to look at volume and interest on all options contracts? A quick answer. Join me for the classes because that is not a quick answer for a tricky question. Free stonker. If you buy calls on Uncle Bruce's picks and they go red, just buy more. It's a simple FRX shareholder meeting today. Right on. Carlos, so many flipper-minded people. PC, it was like really a Q&A I passed to. Martin Shelbert, don't get nervous, guys. If you start feeling anxious about a position long in the future, go and mediate for 10 minutes and let it go. John, I had to speak with a broker to get options level 2 trading. He asked questions about what I knew about options. Felt like a test. Yes, thanks, Uncle B. Mr. Mojo, Ryzen, a lot of sentiment on the ME seems to be this company didn't have a very profitable business model as a private company. So I think ME releasing info about where they're going will do wonders. I agree. I think ME will be releasing a lot of info about where they're going because they have a lot of money to be going to where they want to go to. And they can do that. Yes, there will be a lot of new stuff coming out about all of this. Chris, Uncle Bruce, I will listen to you and only buy calls with 6+ months expiry. That being said, I do have a $15 July 16 call up over 100%. Can you please elaborate about when you like to sell bought calls? Well, yeah, I'd really... Why? But in any event, Chris, you've got calls. I don't know in what. You got calls in something. Take a look at rolling into down the road, rolling into November's, January's. Get out there, give yourself time. GameStop, that makes sense, but 34,000 calls at 25. Come to me at 30. Pat, local Denver Channel 9 News just ran the GameStop story about what a great investment it is, and it is becoming because of yesterday's stock sale, raising more capital. Very interesting that you'd see something like that on local news. Request payment ahead of time. That's what I live for. Bruce doing Yoko. Uncle Bruce, if prices go up without volume, like GameStop says, there's no paper to sell. And what does a sudden price decrease without volume say? Oh, sometimes stocks go up and sometimes they go down for the most outrageous reasons. We're at 220 on the GameStop, up 78 cents. Nothing going on right now. Apparently, we have 1,000 thumbs ups. Is that true? Yes, we have at least 1,000 thumbs ups on this show because of you wonderful, wonderful people. Thank you all so very, very much. 67 on the downside. So that means we have over 1,067 actual thumbs. And no matter whether it's an up or a down, it actually affects the channel positively because YouTube sees they see activity between creator and viewer. They see this. Every comment you make, every time you do a comment, that is measured by YouTube. YouTube is measuring the comments versus the viewers versus the length of time he's on the air. And this ups the channel's rankings inside YouTube's computer systems to promote the channel to more potential viewers. So the more you talk to me, the better this is. And I love you for it. Thank you all so much. Okay. Let's see what else is going on here. The Lizard King. Hi, Bruce. Hi, Bruce. Any news on GVHI merge date? July 20. It's set for July 20. Stocks at 15.10, down a dime. That's what we got. 220.40 on GameStop, up a buck. SoFi 21.16, down 24 cents. GHVI down a dime. 23andMe up 18 cents. Let's go. I was approved by Schwab for covered calls on options level 2. Filled out a form on internet, and 2 phone calls later, I was approved. Took about 2 weeks, says Bama Babe. Bruce, what do you think of Autodesk as an infrastructure play? They're big players in the tech side of engineering, public works. Don't know them, so I can't help you there. Don't know. Serge, the meeting for Gores, July 20th. Mr. Mojo, are you anywhere near Blackburn, UK? That's a question for somebody else. Dave, the reason to buy options and not stock is because it provides you options on what to do going forward. While it actually gives you leverage over many, many more shares for less money. So if you buy a $200, you buy a $2 call for $200, you are enjoying upside movement in 100 shares for a limited period of time for only a $200 investment. And if in the 5, 6, 7 months that you give yourself, if you buy a January call or a March call next year, you give yourself that kind of time for a couple of $100 a share, you can use $1,000 and get 5 call contracts controlling getting the gain of 500 shares into your pocket. So the shares go from, say they're sitting at $10 a share, and they go to $20 a share after they merge their deal and all that. In that 7-8 months window, you may have contracts that are now worth $10 a share in value that you paid $2 for. You have taken $200 and turned it into $1,000 times 1, 2, 3, or 5, or 10, or 20 times. It can add up to a lot of money. That is what options do for you if you're long and you are right. Philip, Clayton, hey, Uncle Bruce, with the 5 million GameStop share offering, I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on the share price moving forwards after the squeeze. The more money they raise, Philip, at these prices, the stronger the company is financially. And the stronger the company is financially, the more buying will come into the market of the stock by investors who are going to buy and not resell for quite some time, causing a greater short squeeze scenario for those who are short. correct. So this is a good thing. If this company were to issue another, say, 20-something million shares to get up to 100 million shares outstanding, and they issued these shares to bring in $7 billion, let's say, they'd have $9 billion in cash in the bank with 100 million shares outstanding total. That means that for every share that exists, there is $90 cash per share in existence. That's huge. That's huge. This company was trading at $4 a share not even a year and a bit ago. The entire company was worth $280 million in market cap. 280. They had a $220 million debt that they were carrying, a long-term loan. They had no equity. They had no value whatsoever. They pull off a stunt like this by issuing that kind of stock in the 300 range or whatever. That would be $90 a share cash per share on hand, plus a management team, plus the stores, plus the sales, plus the upside. It's $1,000 stock, man. You are on your way. Yes, you want them to keep raising cash, puts them in a position to buy other assets and companies, and they could literally buy earnings. You buy private company earnings, merge them into a public company, and you trade at 50 to 100 times earnings. You can really build a company that way and dramatically. And this is what GameStop could be doing. I don't know if they're going to. I have no idea. The possibilities will become endless, and it's going to be really fun stuff. Okay, there you go. Let's go. I was with Schwab briefly. He wanted me to call for authorization. No one would answer my calls twice. Why bother dealing with these people if they're not going to service you? Ridiculous. I agree. Let's see. Bruce rocks the YouTube. And I got your comment right here. If a new person started watching Uncle Bruce today, they would think him insane with the sound effects. Let's see. That sucks. They gave me a direct number to derivatives to call back when I was ready for the interview. And did you ever tease your hair? Wear skinny jeans? I hope Smart Rent does a collab with DoorDash so I can give DoorDash a temporary Smart Rent key and the DoorDash can feed me like I'm some hedonistic dictator. Well, we all have our hopes, dreams, and aspirations. Very good. There are many investors that only play the option game. That's true. Still waiting for Weeble to decide. Let's see. It's weird that everyone seems to have to jump through hoops for options approval. I barely blinked an eye and I was approved without any test or quiz or interviews. Before I met you, Uncle Bruce, my Jen said I was talking too much about GameStop and she was shushing me. She was shushing me. Now I'm shushing her when she wants to talk about GameStop when you're streaming. Win-win. See you in the afternoon show. Thank you, British Sterling. Shilling. Michael, I was approved for level 2 options on Fidelity instantly with no phone call or anything. Dave, Larry, iTrade was a formality to get approved for non-margin options trading. No problem whatsoever. GameStop, GME, Dat Mini. I'm speculating that SoFi insiders are short SoFi. Lockout expiry ends July 1. They'll be able to choose their closer positions. Short sell pressure will end sometime July. Then we moon. I don't think you can do that. You cannot, as an insider, be selling stock short. If you get caught doing that, that's criminal. And then you are in big trouble. You are like not able to trade in a public capacity for life. You could be subject to fines. No. You could be, if you're an insider of the company, you'd be kicked out. You can't do that. No. I don't think so. Nope. Okay. Comments. Let's see. Let's see. Let me just kind of keep moving on here. Buy market share. Yes. I love the 80s when I was in high school, says anti-PC. Let's see. I just came by to give you a thumbs up on my way to my new apartment. Right on, false. If GameStop raised $7 billion through additional share offerings, we would literally colonize the moon. I mean, holy moly. When's the merge date for GHVI? July 20. He answered that, says Michael. He answered that already. Okay. Here we are. My broker is giving me a 50% SOFI. Sorry, he's giving me 50% of my SOFI position as margin because of low risk trading or lowest ranking. Not going to use it, but it's nice to know SOFI is taken seriously as a stable, reliable stock. There you go. Yes, the merge vote is July 20. This is the only safe place I can talk about trading option derivative strategies without people glossing over their eyes. Uncle Bruce, would you write covered calls now on FWAA, NSH, VACQ, or wait until they reach the 2030? Wait until they reach the 2030 range. BW. Bruce, someone sends you and Jen a PayPal of, say, $100,000 to say thanks. Do you book on Crystal, Celebrity, Regent, or Viking, or slum it on Royal Caribbean? And what destination would you go on if you had that kind of a donation come into your channel? I would be very interested in Regent. Viking, I'm interested in Viking. I have an interest in Celebrity. Crystal, a little bit, maybe. Crystal is, I think, owned by Genting. I believe that's a Genting company. But Celebrity, Regent, Viking, I'd be interested in because Celebrity is Royal Caribbean's premium line, one of them. Regent is Norwegian's premium line. Viking is its own entity, the River Cruise Company and Ocean Cruise. I'd be interested in a combination. I'd love to do a Viking Ocean and then a Viking River, or the other way around kind of thing. That'd be kind of cool. Yes, nice 5-6 star luxury on all those. Brokers tend to give high value accounts to the better service. That's kind of funny. I noticed lots of stock market trader YouTube is promoting SOFI now. Buzz is around. Yes, I expect SOFI to become a meme stock. That's what I expect to happen. SOFI will become a meme stock, and with that, the volumes will rise dramatically, as will the awareness of SOFI's trading and short positions and all of that. But it's not there yet. It's not yet a meme stock, but I think it's going to become one. That's my personal guess. Okay. Looks like SOFI is about to rip. MACD data saying, I just bought 30 more ME. Why didn't the price shoot up? $12.15 a share. It's shooting up right now. $12.20 right now. Just went up a nickel right there. It just shot up. They got the message loud and clear. John Jepson just bought 30 shares of ME. Get with it, people. Look out. Don't miss the bus. Follow this guy. I wonder if other banking companies similar to SOFI will pop up anytime soon. Online-only environment. It will probably depend on how SOFI does well or not. Well, again, I bet you there are others, but they're much smaller than SOFI. And I think SOFI is going to be the big dominant dog. And as I've speculated in the past, I just have a hunch that a year from now, 2 years from now, SOFI will be a takeover target and will be bought up by a mega multi-trillion dollar company. That's just my hunch. I can't guarantee it, but that's just my hunch. I did not realize that they were like Honda and Acura or Toyota and Lexus when it comes to cruise line. Yeah, you've got Norwegian with Regent 7 Seas, and you also have one other. They own one other cruise line. And of course, now that I need to know the name of the company, I can't remember it. Royal Caribbean has Azamara and Celebrity. Carnival's got Cunard, of course, and then they have Seabourn as their high-end line. Cruise lines, just like car companies, have divisions like Chevy to Cadillac, and Toyota to Lexus, and Nissan to Infiniti, Honda to Acura. Yep, that's how it works. Anyway, there you go. Let's see. Visceral. We'll be watching for these. There'll be lots of this, I'm sure. I don't have anything off the top of my head. Has anyone else noticed how the stock market is basically like a guy with IBS? It takes. All it takes is one fart to completely ruin the day. 21.33 SOFI, 21.26 right now. 12.15 on ME. GameStop 2.18 down $1. 217.64 down $1.70. There you go. Brucey baby, you need to smoke some cannabis. I don't partake of that stuff. Hats, what she said. SoFi Stadium looks amazing. Yeah, you're going to hear a lot about that. We're up 244 on the Dow, up 25 on S&P, up 126 on NASDAQ as we're coming into the last 20 minutes of this show. We're now in the red on most of the stocks we follow closely, like SoFi down 15 cents, GameStop down $1.50, ATIP down 3 cents, AMC down 2.13, Gore's down 6 cents, but 23andMe still up 11 cents. FWAA, Fifth Wall Acquisition, up 3. Vector unchanged. Navsite down a penny, and Starboard down a penny. VanEck ETF up $4.18. Home Depot up 77 cents. International Business Machines up 59. The Dow up 251. Microsoft up $1.57. Apple up 36. Tesla up 32.90. Bed Bath & Beyond up 99 cents. BlackBerry down 15. Cruise lines are mixed. Carnival down 36 cents. Norwegian is up 7. Royal Caribbean is up only 50 cents. Amazon down 11.83 a share. Facebook up 3.82. Google up 14.94. Yeah, we've got Goldman Sachs up 5.55. We have JP Morgan up $1.09. Not a lot happening on the banks like in a big way, but they're positive. There you go. Intel up 31 cents. Micron up $1.57. There you go, guys. This is the thingy. There's this thingy, and that's what's happening on the thingy. We have a big up day on the Dow, S&P, NASDAQ. All green. SoFi, GameStop, ATIP, AMC, Gore's, all down today. It's all slightly down, just down. Navsite and Starboard off a penny or two each. So that's the story at the moment. That's just where we're at. And what can I say? Back and forth we go. Do you know why they would buy a stadium? They don't own a stadium. They bought the naming rights. That's a marketing move. Brilliant. The Super Bowl is being held at SoFi Stadium this season. They will get so much from that. Anyway, what can I say? You know what? Actually, screw that, Bruce. We'll just book you on the personal Jeff Bezos ship when he's not on it and he's off eating the Mona Lisa. Oh, man. Clearly, every member of the Wall Street hedge funds watch this show and purposely try to crush Bruce's stocks because they know he's a genius. On the other hand, maybe they're long with us and they're just laying in the weeds for these stocks to kind of bottom out so they can keep buying more on the dips too. And they'll run them to Mars instead of just to the moon. We go to the Mars. How about that? You never know. John Van laughing out loud. I'm laying in bed. I don't see you. Can we start a GoFundMe for Brucey to smoke a blunt live on the air to crash the market? I have some VIX calls expiring next month. It's not going to happen. My stocks can't tell the Dow's having an up day either. Mike Sullivan's going, Uncle Bruce, if a multi-trillion billion company were to buy SoFi, do shareholders get bought out for the decided price, or do the shares that get converted in, say, the big company? Well, that could go either way. Could go either way. You could have say Walmart wants to take over SoFi, and Walmart says we want to buy SoFi, but we're going to keep SoFi its own company, but we're gonna take it over, and what we'll do is we'll issue Walmart stock to the shareholders of SoFi. On some kind of a ratio. And so if SoFi is sitting at 200 a share and Walmart agrees to take them over at 400 a share and the Walmart shares are at 200 a piece, then you get 2 Walmart for every 1 SoFi and you just become a Walmart shareholder. You got 2 Walmart for every SoFi. You got $400 worth of Walmart stock. SoFi would still be a private wholly owned subsidiary company of Walmart and would still be doing what they do, but they wouldn't now be a separate publicly traded company. Now, if Amazon came along and said, "Oh no, we're interested in SoFi too. We'll pay $425 a share in cash for SoFi. We'll just pay you cash for $425 for every share you got. So all you shareholders, you take our offer, you get $425 in cash." And then the third company could be Google, and they could come along and say, "Oh no, we're going to we'll offer. We'll take you on. We'll offer you $500 a share. We'll give you half in stock, half in cash, And now the management of SoFi have to consider all three offers and decide what to do. Tell the shareholders what as a director, here's what we think. As directors, we like this deal, and this deal, but of the three, here's the one we would go with. Or we don't like any of these deals because we think, as owners of the company and who run it, we think we can make this company go to 1,000 a share, and we don't need to sell out now for 400 or 500. That could create a fourth offer, and that could be Apple. And Apple comes in and says, we'll offer you 600 a share in cash. How about that? Who knows? Anything is doable. Anything can happen. But, I've never seen anything like this happen with the big FANG stocks all trying to buy an entity. I've never seen that happen. There's a lot of spies out there who keep an eye on what everyone else is up to. So Apple knows what everyone else is thinking, and everyone else knows what Apple is thinking. And there are certain companies that do not make acquisitions of this kind and never will, because it's just not their style. And then there are others out there who will, come up from left field. I mean, you might get an offer from left field with maybe Wells Fargo. They come around and go, we'd like to take you on. And we'll make you part of the Wells Fargo family. And maybe that is the deal. Wide open. Absolutely no idea. But yes. Anyway, there you go. I just got my Gores vote from email. You got your proxy for Gores. It's official. They're getting taken over by Matterport. How about that? So, yeah. This is good stuff. Okay. Exciting. Laugh out loud. There you go. What country is SoFi based in? The United States. I got to go, Uncle Bruce. Thanks for your time. My Jen is taking me and Milo for a walk. I got to exercise, A listen-only mode is so nice. Have a good day, everybody. Wally, you take care, pal. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I got my Gores email, too. That makes more sense than them owning the stadium. Yeah, the naming rights. They're based in Tehran, someone says. SoFi is Los Angeles. Okay. Pete's having a stroke. Enjoy your walk, Wally. SoFi is U.S.-based, buying back in Sacramento connections with NFL because Anthony Noto, CEO, was a CFO of the NFL. There's a strong connection there. John, SoFi is going to be so huge when they build their own stadium. Agreed with the board on everything. GHVI vote is submitted. Let's go, baby. I smell money. Bruce, in your opinion, how far out would you go for NSH calls since they haven't announced anything yet? I would go as far out as you can. As far out as you can. I think you only go to November, though. I don't know if there are any contracts beyond November available at the moment. Keep an eye on that. Kev Lane, thanks, says Aaron. 21.27 down 13 cents on SoFi. GameStop 218.10 down $1.24. ATIP down a penny to 9.34. AMC 56.06 down 2.24. Gores Holdings 15.15 down 5 cents. ME&Me 23andMe 12.12 up 8 pennies. Fifth Wall Acquisition up 4 cents. Vector unchanged. Navsite unchanged. Starboard down 2 cents. There's where you're at with the stocks that we follow the most. The Dow is up 225. It's a bit off its high, but holding a nice gain here. 23-point gain on S&P. NASDAQ up 119. Both of those are in record territory right now. If they were to close right now, the S&P and the NASDAQ would both be in record territory for a record close. The Dow is getting closer and closer to its all-time record high. The Dow needs to reach 35,091. It is 34,100 right now. So the Dow is 950 away. One 500-point day and a couple of 300s, and you got it. It's not much for the Dow to do it. To be within 900 points of a 35,000 point index, you're less than 3% away from the all-time high. So that shows you how high this market is. Hey, Bruce, if banks like Fargo, Bank of America are almost 400 billion companies with $40 share prices, what would justify SoFi at $18 to be a similar share price? Well, there aren't as many shares outstanding as SoFi as these other two. These other two have a much higher market cap value. SoFi has a much smaller market cap value. Right now, the market cap on SoFi is $17 billion. $17 billion. These others are $400 billion companies. See what I'm getting at? So, a year from now, SoFi could be trading at 100 a share. as they are exponentially growing out with all these new customers are hauling in, which they're stealing from other bankers. Let's not kid ourselves. The company could be an $85 billion stock. But it could well be that they're a takeover target for 200 billion or 300 billion or more on a paper deal. One never knows. Maybe 2 years from now, SoFi is 250 a share, 250 a share. And they get an offer for 350, and then they get an offer for 375, and then when someone else offers 400, someone else offers 500 a share. The bidding war is on. Who knows? It could happen between now and then. I don't know. Just saying. I just received my Gores holding corporate action notice. Everyone's getting it now. The emails are landing on people's accounts. You are all getting the word. Gores is up now. It's only down a penny now at $15.19. It's coming back up again. You're all getting the word. Yes. HK, Uncle Bruce, when a corporation spins off a business unit, why is it viewed as a positive news on the street? Because it values the company at a higher level. This is a very positive thing. When there's competition for a company, they must be doing something right. And so obviously there are times where shares are just not appreciated by the market. But as a takeover target, it's double the price to get it. And that's can happen too. When my NSH $15 November calls have some volume and value behind them, I'll push them into February 22s. For now, I'm just sitting on my hands the next 2-3 months. There you go. SoFi isn't a team to build a stadium. It's a bank, and soon will be mooning. That's right. They're just owning the naming rights on that stadium for promotional purposes. There's barely any action on SoFi. And then at 11-ish, 500,000 green candle immediately, 500,000 red candle. Boom, boom, boom. Welcome to SoFi. Welcome to the market. 2.7 million traded on SoFi. And maybe that trade, though that bang trade was down at the low, 2103, and now that's over and it's going up again. Maybe that's what's happening. I don't know. Yes, just announced the first and only SoFi retail location will be on Mars. Opening ceremony is going to be sponsored by SpaceX. Opening date, spring of 2027. There you go. Here you go. SoFi will use its stadium for investors to go in and watch stocks go up and down. I got to go. Catch you later, Sharon. Thank you for all your help today, helping us, telling us how many thumbs ups we got. We now have 1,000 solidly and 72 on the downside. I'm sure we're over 1,150. Maybe we're approaching 1,200 total thumbs. Thank you, Sylvia, and you have a great day today. Enzo, a number of shares X stock price equals market cap. How do you listen only on YouTube? Is it premium or probably premium? Or Yuri says it is, I guess. SoFi 21.28 down 12 cents. GameStop 215.82 down 374. ATIP down 2 cents to 933. AMC 55.74 down 256. Gores down a penny 15.19 down a penny. Gores 15.20 unchanged. Whoa. 23andMe 12.13 up 9 cents. Gores now 135,000 shares traded. Absolutely dead quiet. Dead quiet on the stock. All-time high on Gores. Remember, $28. Gores has already been to $28 on the Matterport announcement alone. Ran it to 28. It's at 15.20. Do you think it's cheap right now? I do. I think it's a buy, a screaming buy. Gores, the paperwork is arriving in your emails as we speak. I just got my shareholder email for there you go. There's another one. Everyone is getting it now. You're all getting it. Oh, Rob, yes, I have premium and I can lock my phone, turn the screen off, and still listen to Bruce like a podcast. It's great. That means you can't see these faces I'm making. You don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing stuff silently and you can't tell because you're not looking at the screen. And so there you go. Okay. Pick a comb. Uncle Bruce, I just met someone who had a number of private shares in SpaceX. Is it possible for a company to issue shares as a private enterprise? Yes, it is. It is possible. There are securities rules one must observe, however, depending on how many shares you issue to how many people. But yes, there are people who are shareholders of private corporations. That is true. That might just make it worth it. Thanks, Aaron. Laughing out loud. I'm watching you at the moment. I'm on my PC. You're not fooling me. We Schwabers aren't getting it. But sometimes I don't want to look at that radio face. I don't want to look at that. Where's Colin D and Tony Bologna right now? Aaron, I see that. I've been holding some of the SPACs you've been talking about, Bruce. Do Canadians get a vote on these? Yes, the Canadians can vote on these. Yes, of course. Anyone who's all shareholders can vote. Oh, yes. Gorse, 15.18 down a penny again. So there you have it. It's right around that break-even line. 23andMe, 12.13, 12.14 right now. The only green one on my screen at the moment does. Everything else is just off a little bit. Yes, Enzo, anyone can vote. Anyone can vote if you're a shareholder of these companies. Bruce is Elaine that's what he's doing. He's lane dancing now. Rob says you can vote. See you later. Gotta shoot now, says Nitten. Nitten, you take care. Thanks for being here. Thanks for changing your name. Thanks for clarifying your name, how you changed your name. Thank you. Welcome one, welcome all for being here. Thank you all for being here today. I appreciate this so much. Cheers to all of you from Creston, British Columbia. Thank you. Oh, very good. So glad you could join me today. And like I say, the market, it's got a good vibe. The Dow's up 232, S&P up 22, NASDAQ up 115. If the senators and the president can cut a deal in the next few days behind the closed doors and everything on the infrastructure deal, and Congress can then ram it through, and the Senate can then bring it up and vote it through with 60 votes, enough Republicans and Democrats, make it happen, the market could go substantially higher at any time, but this can take weeks to make happen. So just bear with me, but we'll see. I don't know where this is going. I don't know how this will go down, but we're going to see what's going on. All right. AB, an individual, nobody, how many shares can they own? Can they own where the company starts sending you stuff ultra seriously, listening to you, owning 5%, just curious. Okay. So if you're a large shareholder of a public company, do they treat you differently than they would say someone with only 100 shares of a public company? If you have, 4.99% of the stock and you still don't have to report to the SEC, you don't have to report your position. Maybe not. If you did own more than 5% of the company, they would welcome a phone call from you. They would welcome a text, a letter. They would welcome communication, because public companies love to talk to their shareholders when they can, when they're allowed to. But if a shareholder buys up a bunch of stock in a public company and they get to say 7%, the company would like to know, well, are you doing this because you're going to do a hostile takeover and fire all of us up here, those of us who are employees running this thing? Or are you a fan? Are you, what's your situation? Like, what's your position on how things are going here? Let us know. Can we be better? Can you help us be better? Would you be the kind of shareholder that could literally bring added value to our company, or are you a disruptor? I mean, what's the deal? And so, you would be treated differently. I would think so. Yeah. Ryan Cohen, he got through 5%. He got up to 10%, and then he met with Mr. Sherman and mentioned to him what he thought the company could be doing. And Sherman and the board reviewed that, and they agreed. They liked his game plan. They liked what he had in mind. They also recognized the fact that he was becoming a rather large shareholder, and so an arrangement was made to bring him in as a director with two other people who were Chewy people. Again, that right there, street cred, the Chewy street cred into GameStop. That's what Sherman saw. And of course, they cut a deal. I think that Ryan Cohen cut a deal saying, I won't buy any more than 13%. I'll stop at 9 million shares. And I'll become a director. And I won't say anything. I'll just keep a low profile. You guys run the show until the annual meeting. But when the annual meeting comes, between now and then, we'll change out management, because we're going to change the company's direction. We're going to go e-commerce, and we'll let go these people. And Sherman also it was negotiated that he would go. But the good news for all the management of GameStop who were there at the time and who had been running it for a few years, they were all given enough of a parachute to leave comfortably. None of them were destitute and kicked out on the street with nothing. Cohen, of course, coming into GameStop, helped dramatically move the stock. I mean, hey, and then, of course, the short squeeze and everything else. But here we are today, 6 months later. GameStop's a totally different company, totally different people running the show, totally different banking situation, totally different values, and the stock's at $217.50. So hello, future, and there you go. Yeah, things can happen. See you later, Bagel family. Got to earn my salary for a couple hours today. Right on. Have a great day. You betcha. Thank you all. Let's see. Brucey, as Ben Graham once said, if any publicly traded bank ever built a stadium, instead of just sponsoring it, you should sell it and sell all of it and buy GameStop. Obviously, I'm paraphrasing, but I should look out for this. Let's see. Well, Ryan Cohen, that was about 10 million shares. Let's see. If you had hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions, to buy calls on some of these SPACs, could you potentially get into that territory, turn around and sell the contract? You might buy many shares. Theoretically, AB, if you had enough call contracts, you'd have enough stock under your control in a way that you could be considered an insider. It all depends how many are outstanding and how many options you have. But I think there are limits. There might be limits to 5,000 contracts per series that you're allowed to own as an individual. I'm not 100% sure on this, though. I've not been in this neighborhood. Uncle Brucey, have you given BlackBerry's Ivy system an honest dive? No. BlackBerry is not a phone company anymore. I really think you'd like its future. It is like a GME, not a fundamentally lacking meme stock. Yeah, I don't follow it. I remember following, BlackBerry, and I remember following Research in Motion, Canada's darling stock 30 years ago, but things have changed. You don't know what you're talking about, says Sitting Bull, the free stonker, insulting us investors into GameStop and AMC. Okay, someone's not happy with somebody. Uncle Bruce, you can BlackBerry. Yeah, you know what you're talking about, insulting. It's okay. We have PINOs now, John. Pinos. We have Pinos now. I don't know what that means. Pinos. I think this is another private discussion that I've stumbled into that I really don't want to be part of. Welcome to my world. Thank you all for being here. I'm just about done with the show for today. I hope you enjoyed my first 3 hours today on the air. I hope I didn't upset too many of you. I hope I'd make too many of you become unsubscribers of this channel. Hopefully you are subscribing to this channel and you're going to do that. Hope you're making lots of money. Hope you're going to make a lot of money. Let's watch these stocks do what they do, and hopefully they'll pop a little bit and you can make a bunch of cash. We just need GameStop to go, Gorse to go up 1 penny to be green. We only need ATIP to go up 5 cents. It's green. You only need SOFI to go up 16 cents, actually 15 cents. It's green. So, these stocks are not far from, going the right direction. So there you have it. We're up 251 on the Dow, up 23 on S&P, up 121 on the NASDAQ. Okay. So we got a positive kind of vibe right now. And what can I say? Thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm going to catch you this afternoon at 3 o'clock. I'll be back at 3 o'clock this afternoon for the last hour of the day today, and as much of the first hour as we can stand and see what's going on. And so I invite you to consider joining us later today. By the time I finish my karate classes tonight, I expect to see GameStop at 300 a share, SOFI at 25. If not, Brucey clearly must be some sort of shill. Ciao, guys. Thank you, Aaron, for no pressure. We love you, Bruce, even if you believe in a vaccine for a virus with a 99.5% survival and safe, easy, proven, cheap treatments. There you go. Here, I love you because you're able to live with millions dying on the planet without any issue. I love you. It's okay. Larry, it's been 3 hours already. It seems like the stream just started 9 minutes ago for me. YouTube fail. What can I say? I just researched BB a while ago, and I bought 100 shares at $8. Okay. I was able to take a nap while you were talking earlier. Your voice is pleasing, and I can learn subliminally. Let's see. Let's go. Later, folks, says Kev. I'll laugh out. Bruce is a classic. Thank you, guys. What can I say? Appreciate all of you being here today. Oh, no, not anti-vaxxers. Oh, wonder why I never see Aaron anymore. This is my favorite part of the day. Bruce, 6 million, 79 million, 1% of the population of Earth. Okay. Class response. And Bruce, during the downtime, maybe you should have someone get you a timeout switch, and then that way you can meet people that choose to attack other members. Well done, Bruce. Dude got the mud brain. Bruce has just bought a new. Bruce, I just bought a new hat. I love you, Uncle Bruce. Pretty soon, Aaron will be talking to himself in chat unless Bruce puts his messages up on the screen. Michaela Burry's tweets on GameStop. Yes, avid Burry fan. AMC has no fundamental reason to be where it is. Without a squeeze, AMC is a $5 stock. GameStop is a per tech company. A per tech company. GameStop is undervalued currently. Okay. Fire stock. Shut the window down now. Shut it down. Third channel. Politics with Bruce. Me about to go red. It's at 12:08 up 4. BB is also fundamentally undervalued. AMC is fundamentally overvalued. Kayla Pauling, check the ones from 15 hours ago. Okay. Anyway, there you have it. So much fun. Thank you, everybody. Lots of opinions. It's all good. It's all good. I'll see you at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Okay. Have yourselves a great day. Thank you all for being here, and appreciate the thumbs ups today. Over 1,000. Yeah, right on. Appreciate that. And we'll catch you at 3 o'clock this afternoon. We'll have some more fun then. Okay. See everybody. Bye for now.